It's not my fault I live in Ohio.
Amazing. What is up, guys? I am Megan from the Slapshot Sweethearts. So excited to have people logging on tonight. I'm here right now with Alex from the Cannons and Tomahawks podcast, co-hosting with me tonight, while Shannon is on vacation. How rude of her to think she could do that. Right now we have John joining us from Off the Wall Hockey. What is up, guys?
What's cracking?
Not too much. Just ready for a good night of NHL action.
Yeah, that'll start at 8 o'clock when the Blue Jackets play. It's not happening right now.
You're so funny.
You're so funny. You're so funny.
Whatever. But there's a lot of hockey going on tonight. Like, just off the bat, we have 2 games starting. The Lightning and Panthers are also playing, starting any minute. Got me with my Pens and the Islanders. I don't know why I'm wearing my Capitals jersey today, but it has just happened. But we're mixing it up. It's my newest friend, so we're going to go with it.
I got my newest
John.
friend.
Yes.
Yeah, Bruins are number 1 right now.
Yes.
Are you going to hold on to it? Is it going to go away? What's your take on this?
I think so. I didn't have them winning the division at the start of the year, but looking at them now, I don't see any team in that division be finishing higher than them. We've had the Flyers number. I thought they were our toughest competition, but we've beaten Philly 4 times already. So I'm starting to get confident that Boston's probably going to win that division.
Yeah, you guys got some good games coming up, too. I was looking at your schedule earlier. But, hey, there's no reason why not. And as long as you guys can stay healthy, which is, what we can't say for the rest of the East.
Yeah, that's going to be the big thing. Staying healthy is going to be the big thing. As long as, Bergeron, Pasta, Marchand, Krejci, those guys, if they're healthy, Boston's going to be right at the top, fighting with the best teams in the league. If we start losing important players, I don't really think we have the depth of guys who can step up into those top roles necessarily. So that would probably derail the season a little bit. But assuming everyone's relatively healthy and not missing, huge amounts of time, I'm getting more and more confident the more I watch this team.
Yeah, totally get that. With the Rangers coming up tomorrow, I assume you're not too concerned.
No, Rangers played us really, really well last night. That was a fun game to watch, really. Back and forth action, great goaltending. The Rangers are one of those teams that the Bruins should beat. I think they're going to win the game, but I think it's going to be a close game. And New York's one of those teams that just plays everyone tough. Even though, they're not the favorite every night, they play tough. And I think it's going to be an exciting one. Hopefully the Bruins win. They should win. But I was a little surprised by how much of a fight the Rangers put up last night.
Yeah, I was a little surprised there too. I feel like there's a few surprising games that have come up. What was I looking at the other night where the Stars, who did they lose to?
Chicago, twice in a row.
Yes. I texted Shannon and I was like, what is this madness?
Yeah, I'm mad because I bet Stars both nights and they lost both times.
As logical people would.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on there, but I'm pretty mad at Dallas right now. So go rest of the Central Division. The heck with Dallas.
Yeah, that makes
I'll
sense.
take it.
The rest of no, I just can't believe that Chicago is number 3 right now for the Central. Granted, Central competitive, maybe not. Alex.
Yes and no. I think it's the Central standings are still really skewed by
games played
because the Blue Jackets have played 14 and Florida's played 10.
Mm-hmm.
So granted, so Carolina's played 10, we've played 14. We're 1 point ahead of them. But if you go based off of points percentage, Columbus is in 6th, Chicago's in 5th, Tampa is in 1st. Big shocker there. But then Florida, it's just it's weird. It's granted we've played 10 to 14 games on average, but I still think it's a little early to start to be kind of worrying about standing so much with how messed up everything is.
Yeah, we were talking about that with Rod Peterson yesterday, which our interview dropped today. So if you haven't listened, check it out. But it's definitely a weird feeling when there's just been so much variance in how much people can play. It's like, how can you compare the competitiveness of teams if half the teams are not even touching ice for a month from what it seems like the Devils are about to hit?
Yeah, that's between them and all the stuff. Like, we got Minnesota going on, Vegas. It seems like they're going back and forth every other day. Yeah, there's going to be issues.
Yeah, it's going to be a weird season. I think points percentage is really the thing to look at. And I know Pierre LeBrun from The Athletic has been pushing that. He's one of the better he's one of those guys that seems to be on top of things as far as like insiders in the NHL goes. And LeBron has been pushing, pay attention to point percentage, because there's a chance that not everybody's playing 56 games. I would look at that more. It's still a little early to be looking at standings too closely. I mean, obviously you want to take a look at it and know where teams are, but it's still pretty early. I think some of these teams that haven't played a lot of games, as they catch up in games played, you're going to start to see where they actually belong a little bit more.
Yeah, not saying it has calmed down at all, but I feel like those overtime wins and losses have kind of started to chill a little from what we were seeing early on. I know, John, we talked about that last time you were here. It's just like, it's definitely starting to come out where like people are being competitive and someone's taking it now.
Yes. Yeah. We've definitely haven't seen as much overtime as we did in those first like 2 to 3 weeks, which were just, it seemed like every night there were multiple overtime games, and it's calmed down a little bit now for sure. And I think we're getting a better idea of which teams are good, which teams aren't, and which teams might fluctuate throughout the year as kind of having good stretches and bad stretches. And the Central Division's been interesting because of the skew in games played, but now they're kind of like the Central's the only division, or one of, well, the North hasn't had any issues yet as far as postponements go, but the Central seem to have gotten their postponements out of the way early. That was the first division that got hit hard, and now it seems to be back on track, whereas the East is getting destroyed right now. And the West, it's kind of a Minnesota, and then what the heck's going on with Vegas? It changes every night. But Colorado, I think, should be coming back Sunday. It's been a while since they've had a new case, so they should be good to go to come back Sunday. But Central's interesting. Can we all agree that Nashville is like bad, though? Like, Nashville is bad and massively disappointing.
Yes. That was definitely not something I expected. I definitely didn't rank them high, if I'm remembering my preseason rankings, but I definitely was not expecting them to be number 7 right now, at least like somewhere closer to the middle of the pack.
I ranked them 5th in my preseason predictions. I had them finishing just behind Columbus, but Nashville's been bad. And with that roster, there's no excuse to be bad. Like, they've got Forsberg and Johansson and Duchesne and Yossi, and they're just like, I have not seen a Preds game yet where I'm like, this team looks good.
Well, every game that I watch of theirs, everything, like, there's nothing that ever gets pieced together. So it's one game, their offense is insane, but their goaltending just decided not to show up. And then another game, it'll be the complete opposite. It's crazy. Yeah, with their roster, they should be towards the top.
Yeah,
but it's, I don't know.
I think the coaching
has definitely been a league-wide issue so far this season.
Yeah, this year has been very weird with a lot of teams. Like, you know, Nashville is
definitely
down at the bottom, but then Florida is number 2.
Yeah, Florida's
I don't get that
so far.
Like, they just got their first regulation loss.
Not expected. I did not go into this thinking Florida was going to be much, but they've clearly proved me wrong. I mean, from the start, they were undefeated for a hot second, but I don't know. I'm expecting a little bit of a change there, especially maybe like a flip in like Chicago and Dallas to start to make a little more sense. But I know, Alex, you want Columbus to stay in that top half there.
Duh.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
But I know we were talking a little bit about COVID. We're going to bring in a few guys who know a little bit about the Devils and can give us a little perspective on that for a second. We got Jimmy and Neil from the Bottom Line. What is up, guys?
Hey, how you guys doing? Everything okay?
Yeah. Better question. How are you doing? You haven't seen hockey in a minute.
Yeah, I mean, it's been, we're going to be pushing 2 weeks since the last time we played a game. And, hopefully with some guys coming off the COVID list today and hopefully over the next, couple of days that we'll get an opportunity to play on Tuesday against the team that Jimmy unfortunately supports. And that would happen to be the New York Rangers. But no, we're hoping that also with the fact of having this long break, it allows some of our other guys to get into the lineup. Nico Hischier off the injury, Sammy Vatanen and Aaron Dell coming off of, just quarantine after, being away for so long. And, it sucks because we have to watch every other team. And I'm really glad that you guys were talking about Nashville and you guys were sounding surprised that Nashville is playing as badly as they are. I will tell you exactly why they are playing as bad as they are. It's because John Hines is their head coach. And as a Devils fan who suffered for 4.5, almost 5 years of dealing with a conservative, defensive-minded coach like John Hines when he had a lot of offensive talent, this doesn't surprise me at all. Nashville fans want him fired. Every Devils fan like myself has said, well, we tried to warn you that John Hines was going to piss you off. And as a result, that's what you're seeing. When they played Tampa a couple days ago on national TV, they were just embarrassing. I mean, their power play was awful. Their guys were just not moving as much. And really, the only guy that seems to benefit from this system is Roman Josi, and that's a defenseman. I mean, that just shows you that really John Hines is just not an NHL head coach. And the fact that Nashville thought that they could replace John Hines, they could replace Peter Laviolette with John Hines was a very, very, very bad decision. So I'm not surprised at all that Nashville is as bad as they are because, quite frankly, it's the head coach.
Neil, I gotta say I'm not surprised either, and I'll just add this real quick. John Hines' system was never, ever, ever a great fit for the National Hockey League. So the fact that Nashville actually took a chance, look. I'm not advocating for anybody to lose their job. I don't want anybody to lose their job. But in the case of John Hines, I'm sorry. Your system doesn't work in this league. You got to go. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, he's just he was an AHL head coach, and that's where he should stay. I mean, that's based. Exactly. I mean, his system is better for the minor leagues or it's better for college. It's not better for when you have young, talented players, and that's why it's a breath of fresh air to get Lindy Ruff in with his offensive system and him being the way that he is and the way that he orchestrates the forwards. It just goes to show you that a lot of it had nothing to do with really the players themselves, more that it had to do with the coaching staff and quite frankly, more mainly the head coach. And I wouldn't be surprised if Nashville continued to play this way, that either later in the season or maybe even after the year that Nashville really starts to think about moving on from John Hines. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
Yeah, I was also going to bring up, you guys were talking about, their loaded roster that they have, and you said there's no excuse for them to be this bad. You're absolutely right, but unfortunately, like Neil said, because John Hines is there, I'm just going to leave it alone.
That's just it. There's no other reason as to why they're playing as poorly as they are.
Exactly.
Yeah. Jimmy, you got coming up tomorrow. You're facing John's boys, the Bruins. How do you feel going into this game?
Oh, boy. Well, first of all, where do I even begin with this team? First of all, I know the Rangers and Bruins played last night. I know they played last night. They lost in overtime. And now, let me just say this. I will gladly take a point against that Bruins team. There's a reason that Bruins team is 9-1-2, I think, if I'm not mistaken. 9-1-2. But
yes,
that's beside the point. How I'm feeling about the matchup, not that great, to be honest with you, because my argument with the Rangers from day one has always been about defense. They can't defend to save their lives. They can't block shots. They can't defend. They can't help their goaltenders, whether it's Shesterkin, whether it's Georgiev, whoever. You could pick up Joe Schmo off the street, and that wouldn't help you in any way, shape, or form. And then you also have an issue where they can't shoot the puck. They are way too pass happy. Those have been my two main arguments from day one. And now that everybody is finally starting to see it, now that Henrik Lundqvist is out the door, everybody's like, oh, well, maybe the problem was our defense. Really? You should have seen that when Henrik Lundqvist was there to begin with. That has been my argument from day one. I do not feel good about this team whatsoever. I have argued from the beginning of the season that this Ranger team is not a playoff team whatsoever, and they will not be a playoff team. Well, look, they're young.
Yep.
I get it.
I
And
agree with that.
they're going to get better as time goes on. But as of right now, this team is not ready for the playoffs. And as far as the rematch with the Bruins, I am not feeling good about it whatsoever.
I really rely on these comments to get people going, to get
laughing.
a little heated things there.
No, see, Jim nailed it.
Y'all overpaid and
Jim nailed it right on the
overvalued
head.
Jacob Trouba. At least Jacob Trouba was actually trying to do. Look, the only people that are actually
they
trying
paid
to
him-
do something
They paid
for
him
the
to
Rangers
be like
right
a
now.
Norris Trophy defenseman, and he's not even close to that. So I don't want to hear that. This is just classic Rangers. They think that they deserve everything in the world. Jimmy, you're one of the few that doesn't act like that, which I appreciate more than you will ever know. But I will say 99.9% of Rangers fans, their attitude is that they think that they are going to the Stanley Cup every year, even when they know damn well that they're not that good.
No, you're right. You're right.
Look, here's the thing. How does it make you feel that everybody wanted to go, Capo Caco is about 5 times better than Jack Hughes? Really? Why is Capo Caco playing on like the 3rd and 4th line and Jack Hughes is the top point getter on the Devils?
Exactly.
See, this is what I'm talking about. This is the whole thing. If it was role reversal, they would be saying, oh, Jack Hughes is better than Capo Caco because Jack Hughes is on their team. The reality with the Rangers is simply this. The problems that they were dealing with for the past 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 years is the same problems they're dealing with now. It's the same thing. They don't fix it because they don't want to fix it. And this also proves when you had Lindy Ruff as the head of your defense, he's not a defensive coach. He's an offensive coach, as he's proven in New Jersey. So maybe it wasn't Lindy Ruff that was the problem. Maybe it's just the ignorance of the Rangers organization because they continue to get guys like Tony DeAngelo who don't know their ass from a hole in the ground if they fell in it and clearly don't know what's going on in the world around them. Then that clearly shows they are the second worst team in the NHL when it comes to evaluation other than the Arizona Coyotes, who just fired their assistant general manager today. I don't even know who really runs that damn team anymore. So to me, like seeing the Rangers like perform the way that they're performing, just like Nashville, doesn't surprise me because they have not decided to fill any of the holes that they needed to fill. That's just plain and simple.
Well, and look,
John, you look like you got a good start from this debate. Your boys are looking pretty good for tomorrow.
Yeah, all right. I might hammer Bruins puck line tomorrow now. Win by at least 2. Might be all over that. I just want to know what
you got to make sure though that Rask doesn't like come out of the net again. I don't want to see that again.
That was so funny. He'll probably do that again.
Who cussed him out? I want to know who said get in the effing net. I want to know who said that. That was funny.
Cassidy.
It was Cassidy that said that? I'm pretty sure
I
it was one of the players.
It was him, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was one of the players.
It should have been the whole bench, but my one question I have now that we have a Rangers fan here is what the hell is wrong with Mika Zibanejad?
Oh my goodness gracious.
Is he like injured?
Well, look,
carrying the damn team.
I know that everybody wants to say, well, COVID is really affecting him. I know he had COVID and he's okay right now, thank goodness.
True.
But look, to be truthful, I don't know what's wrong. Either he's nursing an injury that we don't know about, or he just flat out is terrible this year because that man cannot buy a goal to save his damn life this year. So I have no idea what's wrong. I hope it gets better. But look, here's my thing. The only players who I really see on the Rangers that are actually trying to do their job are the following people. Adam Fox, Keandre Miller,
He's been phenomenal.
Artemi Panarin, and I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, nobody else. Nobody else. I just named you 3 guys who are actually trying to do their job. Who else is? No damn buddy. All right. So again, this has been my argument since day one. Rangers, they need to improve their defense. They did not need to draft Alexei Lafreniere. I like the kid. I want him to succeed. This is why I didn't like them getting the #1 overall pick. I get it. And I see it coming right there from my boy Andrew. He's right. 1 point in 12 games with a -4 rating. Does that explain the problem? Yes. You didn't need it on the winger. You needed defense. Period.
But everyone, or the things that people are saying about Lafreniere after having a slow start, everyone was saying about Jack Hughes last year. And now Jack Hughes has come out in his second season and has been absolutely phenomenal. So I think it's a little early to be counting out Laff just yet. The kid's got a ton of potential still. It may not come in the first year, but Hughes showed that you can have a huge bounce back second season. He's doing it, obviously the Devils aren't playing right now, but when, this season, he's been phenomenal to start the year. I think Laff is going to...
that's exactly, Jack Hughes understood he had to gain a lot of, weight. He had to get stronger in muscle. Yeah. And that's what he did this entire offseason. I mean, you're talking about 10 months away from playing, any sort of hockey, and he spent that time getting better. And as a result, he's starting to get things rolling. I think the same thing is with Alexis Lafreniere. Look, not every number 1 overall pick is going to come in and be Connor McDavid or Austin Matthews.
Exactly.
Going to. Look, the Devils have 2 players, Nico Hischier and Jack Hughes. Both of them are not once-in-a-generational talents by any means necessary. But as they've developed and as they've understood how to play the NHL game, they've gotten better and have really solidified their roles. Jack Hughes needs a little bit more development than Nico Hischier does. But at the same time, Jack Hughes is proving that once you understand how to play the NHL game and once you understand what it takes, then you can work on it during the offseason as well. So I think for Alexis Lafreniere, it's trying to, understand the NHL game and then go from there. And it's a learning process every single game for him because now he's playing against men. He's been playing against boys his entire career. Now he's playing against the cream of the crop, the best players in the world when it comes to the sport of hockey. So it'll take time for Alexis Lafreniere to get going. I think he's capable of being a guy that could put up big numbers. And I think the smartest thing for them to do is to put him on the third line. I think you got to give him some favorable matchups. I think you have to get him some confidence, and I think you got to go from there. I think that's the smartest thing you got to do. Because right now, it just seems like they're kind of forcing him into a situation where he might lose a lot of confidence by the time the season's over and may not feel, moving forward in his future that he might second guess himself and say, am I really that good? Am I good enough to play in the NHL? So on and so forth. So that's just what it is. But knowing the Rangers and their organization, anytime they get someone who has any sort of potential, they immediately want to make them a superstar, and that goes without saying because think about the owner of both the Rangers and the Knicks. So,
I think a lot of that plays into being the number 1 pick.
James Dolan, come on, nobody.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that plays into when you're the number 1 pick in the draft, everyone thinks you're going to start day 1 and put up numbers like Gretzky did.
Yeah,
right. Exactly.
It's different. The atmosphere now is different than it was 30 years ago.
Oh yeah.
So they think, he's going to come in and, what happened with Austin Matthews getting 4 goals in his first game. That's not every day. You're not going to see that all the time. You're not going to have these kids come in.
I'm going to cut you off, Alex. I apologize, but also didn't Tomas Hertl also score 4 goals in his first game?
Possibly.
He scored a goal in his first game, and then he had a 4-goal game against your team.
Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah.
Yes, where he quite literally ended Martin Biron's career. So,
pretty much.
What does that say?
Pretty much, yeah.
I feel like development is kind of a lost thing for a lot of fans in particular. Yo, HTH in the chat. What's up, bro? What a legend. I just feel like development is kind of a lost art in the NHL because some of these young kids are able to come in and just light it up right away, the way McDavid and Matthews did. Yeah. But that's not going to be every pick. That's not going to be every first overall pick. Some of these guys still need to develop. And I think Laff is a guy that was like that. And Jack Hughes is showing like what a year 1 to year 2 jump can be. Mm-hmm. And I think, fans, especially organizations for the most part, the good ones are patient enough with players. It's the fans that just jump down these kids' throats, and they don't even realize that they're 18, 19 years old playing in the NHL for the first time. And like, what was I doing at 19? I was sitting in my college dorm room, probably doing nothing. And these kids are playing in the NHL. And like, I always say my rule is 3 years. You got to give a kid at least 3 years before you can actually get a fair evaluation of what they're going to be like. Even Leon Draisaitl was not good his first year in the NHL. He only played 37 games, and I think he scored like 2 goals. Now last year he's a league MVP. Like, some guys just take a little bit longer, and I think that, you know, a lot of fans don't have the patience to wait for that. But if you do look at it from that perspective of give these kids time, a lot of them are going to turn out into the players that they were expected to be. And I think Laugh has a very bright future in the NHL. As does Jack Hughes, as does all of these top picks. It's just some guys come in and do it, and other guys it takes a couple years to really get acclimated to the league.
John, you could not have said that any better, and I guess I'll throw it to Meg after I'm done, because I feel bad she hasn't had a chance to speak at all on this, and I apologize for that.
Go at it.
But no, seriously, this is also why I have said that I have a problem with certain fans in the tri-state area, because you think you're going to get one player, you're automatically supposed to have these kind of expectations where they're sky high through the roof, and all of a sudden they have one down year, and it's like, oh my God, what a bust. Can we slow it down? Look,
what happens when you play in the New York media, my friend. This is what you get. This is what you get. When you play in the New York metropolitan area, your immediate expectation is that you want this guy to be successful. This is what we see in the NFL. If you get the number 1 overall pick, I don't care if it's a quarterback, running back, it don't matter. If you were the number 1 pick and you're going to the New York media, you're expected to be a bona fide superstar right away. So it doesn't matter whether it doesn't matter what sport. If you are projected to be a star, that's what New York expects you to be. And there aren't that many players in sports that can really live up to playing in the New York area. I mean, we talk about the greats, right? We talk about the likes of Derek Jeter, Eli Manning. You talk about, Broadway Joe Namath. You talk about a bunch of different people, and all of them understood that they not only could use their skills to be marketed very well, but also that they knew what it took to play in that with these very, very tough and very, very diehard fans. And for Rangers fans, I mean, look, first of all, they had no business getting the number 1 overall pick in the first place, considering the fact that they were a bubble team and they actually played while you had 7 teams, including one, which I feel very sorry for, and that was Ottawa, and also Detroit, that hadn't played in the bubble, and they got screwed in many ways. I mean, you go from 1 to 4, you got the lowest possible, you went down as far as you possibly could go. I mean, what are we talking about here? And it's, Rangers fans are impatient because they want to see themselves win a cup. It's not like it's been 54 years like the last time, but the way that they've been handling their situation, it might be more than 54 years the next time they win a Stanley Cup. But it'll be 27 years and counting. Well, there you go. One since 94, as we like to say in the Garden State. But that's besides the point. The main thing here is simply this. I like what John said about development. You know who's really good? You know who's been really good at developing players? The Boston Bruins. If you think about the main guys they've had for many years, Bergeron, Marchand, David Pastrnak, Zdeno Chara, Tuukka Rask. I mean, they've had so many great players on their team, and everybody says, "Oh, how are they getting them?" Well, it's because that they understand development and they've worked at it very, very, very hard. If you guys have ever watched Behind the B, which is something that the Bruins do every year, as a documentary, they go very, very deep into developing these players into the system and to the organization that they're in. And that's what the Bruins have done very well. And that's what some of our other, teams, hell, that's what Chicago did. And look what they got. They got several Stanley Cups and were basically a dynasty. Tampa Bay finally got their head out of their ass and they were able to go win a Stanley Cup with the amount of talent that they developed. They didn't trade for a lot of the talent that they had. They developed a lot of that. And that's where it comes from. So the Rangers, it's the same thing. You have to start really taking development seriously in order for you to become a team that can eventually win a Stanley Cup or several. I mean, that's just my opinion on it. When I look at the Devils, that's what we're dealing with right now. We're hoping that Fitzgerald and the Devils organization, with the young players that we have in our system, can start to develop, and we go from there. But it takes a group effort. It's not just the player. It's the team putting these players in the best position to succeed. Ty Smith is the biggest example. We kept waiting. We kept pushing him and saying, keep playing down in juniors, keep dominating, like take your time. You are no rush. He finally, now it's finally time for him to come to the NHL, and he looks like he's been playing for the last 5 years. He's confident. He could very well win the Calder Trophy as Rookie of the Year. He is arguably going to be our number one defenseman for many, many years, and the Devils developed him correctly. Same thing with Mackenzie Blackwood. Same thing with some of the other young guys that we have. The Rangers can do the same thing. They just have to focus more on that whole thing. There you go. Expectations.
That's a mouthful there. I mean, I think especially this year, like the development is so significant because so many guys from taxi squads, everything that's being called up right now, are playing really big roles this season. So we really can't sleep on the guys that are not main roster spots. Like that's like league wide right now. There's no way around it.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
100%.
Yeah, it's the taxi squad is the most important thing this year, and a lot of teams have a lot of youth on their taxi squad, and that's important because you get an opportunity to see the players that you have in your system, especially if you're a rebuilding team. And are the Rangers a rebuilding team? I think that they are starting to get out of that position, but they're still, to me, like I agree with Jimmy, they're not a playoff team. Matter of fact, I didn't even have them finishing in the top 6. To be very honest with you, because their defense was suspect and their goaltending, it's very, very young, but it's still somewhat inexperienced. So that's kind of the question mark going into this year, and that's pretty much why they've been on a skid right now. And look, I mean, the Rangers could probably still find a way to beat the Bruins in the second game because most teams have found it difficult to win back-to-back games against the same opponent. But again, with the way the Rangers are, they're in a lot of a funk, and they could have very well found a way to get that second point last night, but, it is what it is. And I agree with this as well, what Jack said. That's true. That's true as hell.
That's a fair argument.
Big mistake
I can't
there.
argue that. Nice point, Jack.
And think how many times have the Blues missed the playoffs in recent memory? It's not many. It's maybe once or twice in recent memory that the Blues have not made it.
Yep.
A lot of the most successful teams in the NHL who are consistently successful build a majority of their team through the draft and through developing their own players. And then, when you're there, when you're maybe that one piece away, you can go out and make a big splash on the trade market like they did with Ryan O'Reilly, or you can go out and make a big free agent signing. But a majority of your team, for the most part, needs to come through your own development and your own drafting. And that's how most of the long-term successful teams in the NHL build their rosters.
That's why I don't think Vegas is going to end up winning a Stanley Cup in this window that they have, because they have a lot of money invested in a lot of players that are over the age of 30. And look, they've had opportunities to go to at least get back to the Stanley Cup Finals. Like I felt like last year in the bubble, at some point, it was pretty much their cup to lose at that point. I mean, we knew that Tampa was going to do its thing, but they went into the conference finals against Dallas. And even though Dallas was on fire, let's just be real here. When you looked at it from talent to talent standpoint, Vegas was far and away better. And they got the crap kicked out of them because Dallas had the juju going, and they also had a system that was just very hard to break until Tampa was able to break it in the Cup final. But, the problem is in Vegas's terms is simply this. Probably their window is going to close within the next, I'm going to be very fair and say probably next 2 to 3 years. Because let's face it, what are they going to do with Fleury? Max Pacioretty.
So that's being generous. Like I was been calling on the Vegas to win this year. I think they're looking hot so far, and a lot of people have been saying the same thing. If it's not this year, it's over. Like they started so strong, they've been so close so many times. Yep. Are you going to close the deal or not? If you don't do it this year or next year, you kind of just become a good team, but not a great team.
Absolutely.
Like you started strong because the way the draft went worked in their favor. But at the end of the day, if you can't get the cup, then you're just not on that level.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the big thing. It's just that if they don't get it done this year, they're going to have to make a lot of changes. Look, they were in a situation before they got, Alex Pietrangelo, where everybody was saying, where the hell are they going to get the money from to even go get Alex Pietrangelo? Now they locked him into that long-term deal, which in my opinion was a very, 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 very bad idea. But, again, this is why I'm not in charge of running an NHL franchise. But at the same time, if they don't get it done, they don't have anything to develop. Who do they have? White Cloud? I mean, White Cloud, is that it? I mean, when it comes to their young, prospects, they did have a young, somewhat young, talented player in Nikita Gusev that they traded for a second-round pick. Mm-hmm. And so in this situation right now, if Vegas just doesn't get it done, in the next year or two, they're going to have to blow that thing up. I mean, and they're going to have to try to get first-round picks and try to develop through the draft, because at some point, especially with, and I know it doesn't affect them because it's an expansion draft, but now that more players are going to be going to another team in Seattle, the market is opened up even more. It's going to be tougher. And again, the glitz and glamour of Vegas having a hockey team is going to go away if they don't win a championship. It's starting to fade a little bit because the Raiders are now in Vegas. And I think that's something that they're going to have to continuously compete with. Hell, the Las Vegas Aces of the WNBA are a hot commodity right now. They had a chance to win the WNBA Finals this year. So in Vegas's terms, they have to find a way to win it. But their whole situation is that they just don't have anything to develop from a young standpoint and from a draft pick standpoint, because they've used a lot of that capital to get these older, talented veterans like Robin Lehner, Max Pacioretty. I mean, they got Marc-Andre Fleury in the expansion draft, but they're constantly toying with him because it's okay, is he are you going to do this 2-goaltending tandem, or are you really trying to move on from him? I mean, what are we doing here? It's this whole thing.
I feel like they want to move on from it, but then Lehner, he loses. So it's okay, we can't really move on from it because it's not reliable. So it's
exactly.
They're kind of being forced into this moment of having to do the two, even though they don't want to. Fleury's been more reliable for them this season. They have no other choice than to use both at the moment, unless Lehner can kind of get his shit together and keep them where they are. Because they're not going to let him play to have losses when they're playing so well.
Yeah, Leonard's not had a good start.
No, yeah. I mean,
John, you're being called out right now for not wearing a jersey.
Yeah, Sasha's mad. He wanted me to grab the Cale Makar jersey. Yo, bro, I was not going all the way upstairs. I'm too lazy for that.
I respect that.
Man. Easy for the rest of us. Mine just hang on a wall. I just took the closest hanger.
Yeah, is that the Fleury jersey you wore when you were on with us?
That's definitely the Fleury jersey.
Wait, this one?
Yeah, that one right there.
This one is, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I'm wearing the new Capitals alternate.
I love those jerseys.
It's pretty solid.
I think they're so nice.
I like those a lot. My boy Tommy Wilson.
Nice. All right, okay.
Yeah, of course.
And I also hangs on the wall with it is my Seattle Kraken's hat, which the first time Alex was on a live with us, he voted against his boys of the Blue Jackets and lost that bet. So he had to send me this hat. And I guess there was a part 2 to that.
Yes.
That came in the mail.
Oh, boy.
Yesterday that I've yet to open. That will happen at some point tonight.
Oh,
but apparently it's really funny.
I promise you'll love it.
This is
it's going to be your favorite thing
This
ever.
is why I don't bet anything when it comes to this stuff, because I know I'm not going to be that good.
I won another hat from someone else the other day. I don't know where it is. It's okay. I'm going to open it now because it came up.
Go for it.
Ooh, this is going to be fun.
I feel like I'm going to...
She's going to instantly know what it is.
I'm going to enjoy this wholeheartedly. whatever
Shannon,
it is.
knows what it is, too, and she's been like, you're going to laugh.
Oh,
I'm
boy.
It's going to be like a Flyers jersey or some it is. Oh, no. I saw the orange. It's got to be orange. Let me see.
Don't tell me it's actually a Flyers jersey.
Yep. Oh, she's mad.
TK?
Oh, no.
Oh, it's orange. Oh, my God. I called it.
Oh, it's a gritty shirt. Let's go.
Come on. on.
Let's go.
I hate Gritty with a
Oh my
passion.
God.
The most overrated mascot in sports is Gritty himself.
Not to mention
this is why-
terrifying.
Shannon's love of Gritty and my hate of it is the reason we've become friends with the New Jersey Devil, like mascot Twitter. So much to the point where like I'm gonna make content with them. Like I've already talked with like that account, and like when I'm back in Jersey, it's happening.
Oh
and
yeah,
this like this like came through on a live last week, and I was just like talking so much shit on Gritty, and then they were like tweeting back at us, and everyone keeps saying when we do these interviews, they're like, "Oh, Gritty's my favorite," and I'm like, "Oh." And then
Gritty's my favorite.
This is my new T-shirt.
Gritty's
Nice.
an absolute animal.
Megan, let me just say on the record,
that's terrible.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
I mean, look,
I'm not. That's
Obviously, you're not. You're going to it.
Well, no, that's Gritty. I mean, that's for the Flyers. That's the Pennsylvania team that we don't hate. Here in Columbus, we don't hate the Flyers. We hate your team.
I'm like the opposite as like a Devils fan. Like we hate the Flyers, but we don't hate the Penguins. Like it is what it is.
Honestly, I'd say the last couple years, especially the last 2 years, we've kind of started, from a Blue Jacket standpoint, we've started to shy away from trying to take that Blue Jackets and Penguins thing. We've really hated Tampa.
Yeah.
Ever since
We all agree on that.
I love watching those games
after the ass kicking that you guys gave them in the playoffs like 2-3 years ago, I can see why.
They got the very next year in the bubble. I mean,
exactly.
Yeah, no, this is Andrew.
Andrew,
nice. Andrew, that's a good one.
I think there's not a lot that the five of us could probably agree on at some point, but like the one thing is a hate of Tampa is what I've gathered so far right now. So we can all have that together.
You know what I've been enjoying? You know what I've been enjoying, honestly, is
I'm enjoying this.
This is good. Yep, as cities can influence.
Oh, wow.
Okay, Jim. Okay,
wow.
No arguments there,
I've never.
Jim.
Look, I want to go to a Blue Jackets game because I'm there for the cannon. I'm there like completely for the cannon, without a doubt. But the one thing that I have been finding interesting, and I knew this was coming. I knew this was coming when the trade happened. Was that already? Patrick Laine got benched in the game. Like I knew that was coming. I knew it was coming. I knew at some point it was going to have to be like, and I didn't realize it was going to be that quick. But I got to tell you, if Laine survives like the rest of this year with the Blue Jackets, I would be surprised because I feel like he's going to get tired of Torts' system. And then Mikko Koivu just out of nowhere, just like, all right, I'm done. I don't want to play anymore.
Yeah, didn't he
came out of nowhere.
1-year deal and all of a sudden he's out?
Yeah.
See,
Anymore.
this clearly tells me personally that that players on the Blue Jackets are starting to get tired of Torts' crap. I think they're really starting to get tired of it. And
Well,
that's just
Alex,
So Koivu, simply put, that had nothing to do with Torts.
Yeah, he stunk.
Koivu, his explanation was he was not at the level that he wanted to be.
He couldn't play anymore.
So he got a knee injury last year, and the guy's 37. I mean, he's had a long career. Don't get me wrong, and he has really good numbers for his career. But he's playing on a team at that point now with you have Cam Atkinson, Oliver Bjorkstrand, you got Patrick Laine, Jack Roslovic. Everyone is 10 to 15 years younger, and he can't keep up. So I think that had a lot to do with it. Now, Laine getting benched, he deserved it after we found out what happened. So initially, I was pissed because he benched him. He benched Dean Kukin. He benched Alexander Texier. And there was no reason to at all. It didn't make any sense. Laine made sense because apparently at some point in the second period, one of the coaches was talking to him about, I think it was something on the power play or something, and he just blew him off. Didn't say anything. So Torts is like, okay, well, you can sit your ass on the bench the rest of the game. I don't care. Wow. For that, I agree with it. Now, are guys getting tired of his stuff? The ones that are there, I don't think so. But my opinion on your statement of I don't think Laine will last, I do. Here's why. One, he knows Yarmo, our GM, very well. Two, this is currently the last season on Torts' contract, and there is high speculation that he will not return.
Okay.
If that's the case, now the biggest issue with Torts is his whole defensive structure or his system is based around the defense. Well, that doesn't go well with guys like Patrick Laine or Pierre-Luc Dubois or Cam Atkinson. Pierre-Luc Dubois, I like him. I thought he was a good player, but I thought he was underutilized. So far, I mean, it's only been a small sample size, but Patrick Laine could be used in a different way. But I think a lot of that, there's a limitation because of what Torts' system is. And I think if he was gone and we had another coach that was more offensive minded, for example, I know one of the ones is like Gerard Gallant. I'm not saying that would be our solution, but somebody that has more of an offensive minded mindset, we could change a lot of stuff because if, we have two good goalies, we have good defensemen. And I think if we got a different coach in, that could change a lot. Because if you look at the contracts on our entire team, out of 35 guys or whatever that would play on the NHL roster, there's only 2 guys signed through the end of next year. That's it.
That's good.
Who do you want as your coach? Who's your ideal coach then?
Jeez. Out of guys available, somebody that'll win us a cup. I don't care who it is.
John Hines.
Oh,
Okay, well then I will just no.
Wow.
You know what? I'm enjoying him in Nashville because here's why. All right, we had Matt Duchene.
Losing,
right? No. We had Matt Duchene, and he said, "I love Columbus. I love the fans here. Blah blah blah. Great." And then he just said, "A big old fuck you. I want to go be a country singer and go to Nashville." Okay, cool. Now I hope you. Yeah, I know.
that was a long time
he's been
ago.
fired.
That's a long
That was
time
a
Coming
long
in
time
clutch
ago.
with some quality commenting tonight.
That was a long time
Jack
ago.
just has it on his
Jack's the
computer,
real
like, doing
MVP tonight.
research. Jack's doing like research as we're talking. Like, all right, here's all right.
Somebody
here's
will
this.
say
Let's go put it
something
in the comments section.
Yeah, you'll sit there, Neil will say something, and Jack's like, all right, hold on, let me find this real quick. Wrong.
There's always a few. A lot of John followers are like, they're like a hole. Off the wall is literally a hole. Yep.
Jack's got like NHL history, like just down. He'll like, this guy's coached here, and here. Players played here, and here. I'm like, I can't even keep up sometimes.
I mean, how can you not know that Sidney Crosby scored on October 37th, 2014? Come on, off the top of your head.
I mean, how can I'm the worst for not knowing every goal that Sid has ever scored, but I do know Brian Reed tonight.
All you gotta do is watch NBC Sports and talk to Pierre McGuire.
Oh, talk to Pierre. He'll tell you.
Pierre will tell you exactly when he scored.
There you go.
Pierre must have like every Crosby goal memorized.
Oh, every time Crosby scores, he probably gets a tattoo on his arm as a date. So he remembers.
Just like lists going down, being like, "Oh, here."
He's got dates and a bunch of hearts and stuff, and he's probably got a picture of Crosby on his chest or something.
That'd be commitment. I'll say that.
Oh yeah.
Pierre is such
a in a scroll.
The thing about like Pierre that like really like throws me off is just he knows a lot about like college hockey, and like he'll always like mention on the broadcast that this dude played at like North Dakota Technological School for the Blind with with somebody, and he'll just be like, "Oh, I didn't know that." But it's like there's a difference between like what Pierre knows and what Doc knows. Like Doc Emmerich knows it all. Like he just knows. And he makes it funny. Like, how many times have we heard Eddie Olczyk just dying laughing because Doc Emmerich says like, "Oh, we just had the Turkish Hockey Cup final," and it's just like, how the hell would anyone else know that?
Yep.
Jim, nobody likes you.
Shut up. And it's just, Jim, I'm all for him being a head coach somewhere. I don't even know where, but I don't even know if people could stand Pierre McGuire becoming a coach somewhere, or even a GM.
He'll be the
At least it would get him off TV.
Talk about him a lot.
Hey. I remember there was rumors like last year that was like, "Oh, the Devils are going to interview Pierre McGuire," and I'm like, "To do what? Be an analyst?" They're like, "No, to be a GM," and I'm like, "Why?
Anything to get him off TV.
Why?
Bro, it would be like we would have become the meme team if he had been the GM. Like we would have had
That's
so
like
many
literally
memes.
our first week or second week that we became a pod. I think it was like around the time when we talked with you guys, Domenial. Shannon and I were just like throwing shit at the wind, like seeing what funny shit came up. And she got on this tangent and tweeted this out that Pierre Maguire should be called Penis Maguire because he looks like one. And like that was one of the most like traction gained tweets that we had to date. Like unreal. And I'm sitting on Facebook and I'm like, Shannon, you can't like tweet shit like that. And she was just so in it. And I was just like, I don't know what I just signed up for, but I love it and I'm here for it. And here we are.
And I'm pretty sure she still stands by it to this day.
Oh, for sure. It comes up all the time.
If you could have, if you could sit there and have a perfect setup, to me, it's this. You have Pierre Maguire as the GM and the head coach be Booger McFarland, mainly because I only want to see his press conference. So Booger, what do you think went wrong today? Well, you see, I think we didn't win because we didn't score enough goals. Well, thanks, Booger. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Can Mike Milbury be Pierre's assistant?
I was
GM?
gonna say Mike Milbury's got to be in there. You got to put Milbury in there. I mean,
please.
My game's about to start. Hold on. Got to throw my jersey on.
There you go.
Boy.
Your new one? He's got the new reverse retro up in here.
No, he got the reverse retro.
Jeez, wow.
It's a good one.
I love this.
Oh no, it's actually really solid.
Yeah.
By the way, if you guys need some cool stuff, Pure Hockey, get sweatshirts, get a bunch of stuff. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, follow link in my bio. Everyone's Pure Hockey official
you can also
sponsor
follow
of Slapshots.
ours. If you guys need cool sunglasses, go to the Kansas and Tomahawks podcast and get some stuff from Spy Optics, one of our sponsors.
Or if you want some NHL Yeti gear, my link in bio, all over Slapshot Sweetheart stuff has a link for that too.
Or if you just want to follow
sponsors.
some super cool people, just follow us. That's fine.
Oh, and if you want a sweet promo from the Hockey Podcast Network, you can go on DraftKings and use the promo code THPN, and you get something good there. So there you go.
Or if you want to be a really cool fan of mediocrity, just be a Rangers or Devils fan. That's fine.
Wow.
Oh, I'm sorry, Alex. How many Stanley Cup Finals have the Blue Jackets been in their history?
Hey, sorry, man. I can't hear you from down there. I mean, what's the weather like?
All right, fair enough. I stand. All right, fair enough. Oh, yeah. See, that is nice. I can't even lie. That is nice.
Seriously though, that actually looks really
that is
solid.
Nice.
I like that.
Very nice.
Look at that.
The one thing that I love about the jersey and I hate about the jersey, I love that they brought the old school logo back, the original CBJ.
Yes.
I'm very disappointed that our shoulder patches, they didn't use Stinger.
Oh gosh.
So our
I'm really
original
mad that
jerseys,
this jersey doesn't have any at all.
well, yeah, it's
What
got
a
a big
missed
W on the
opportunity.
front.
These are
Lame.
just very white shoulders.
The Devils one has nothing. So, you ain't the only one.
The Vegas
that's about how
one
many
is
games
real
you played
cool.
too.
God, I can't wait till I just want
pulling no punches today.
I just want Devils hockey back. I mean, is it so hard to ask? I mean, clearly it is. Apparently,
You tell me. You had on the 9th is the last time I looked. You had 19 guys on the
21.
list.
Yeah,
it's 21 now.
It's gone up.
It's 21. We're done.
I think the biggest
done.
issue is Devils fans.
Like, this guy's coming off next week. This guy's going off next week.
Here
If you're
comes
still
Alex
gaining
telling
guys,
you what's
you're
wrong
gonna
with New Jersey. This is
another 2 or 3 weeks.
No, I'm not telling you what's wrong. I'm saying the biggest issue with that is Devils fans are pissed because they played in March. They're like, oh, hey, cool, new season. And then they played for like 20 minutes. And then, well, we all got COVID. So fine. One guy gets COVID and they're all sucking face in the locker room.
Yeah, we are. I
I'd
think because of
like to answer
COVID,
this
we
question.
now have developed a rivalry once again with Buffalo. Like now Buffalo hates us.
For
Very
what?
much.
The stickiest?
Yeah. We got Taylor Hall COVID. That was the thing that made me laugh the hardest. Taylor Hall got COVID.
Oh my god.
I want to answer this question because I have thoughts. Okay. Shannon and I talk a lot about this. I like the gold jerseys on Fleury when he has all the gold pads. But I think they look a little tacky because like the gold material that they use, I don't know what like the full part is like this really glittery moment, which kind of looks a little gaudy. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I'd want a full jersey about it, but the gold pads on Fleury blow my mind. Like, I'm so into. I really like the red jerseys. Like, I would definitely, if I were to like get one more Vegas jersey, I would want the red one.
Yeah, there you go.
I love that.
I think you guys were talking about like before, like, do people like what they have like the Lunar New Year warm-ups yesterday?
Yes.
I did not like that.
It was terrible.
No.
It was terrible.
That
was not good.
They were not good.
The only team that I've ever seen rock something similar to that, I've seen San Jose do it a bunch of times, and they do a bunch of different ones. Like they get like an artist and they just make one. They do like an Oakland Athletics or Golden State Warriors one, which I think is actually pretty cool. But I get what Vegas was trying to do. I just think it wasn't great. It was just, it could have been better.
I was kind of hoping for like the Kings to drop something like a Kobe tribute, like the purple and gold jersey this year. Like I think that would have been really cool. Like I'm living in LA at the moment. I would have totally gotten one. Like
it's a great reverse retro jersey though.
That would have been really solid, yeah.
I love that one.
I hate the Kings with a burning passion, but I like that jersey.
Honestly, that's how I feel about a lot of teams. Like I could not give less of a shit about Dallas, to be completely honest. But I love their reverse retro, and I want it.
Oh,
it's a good one. Yeah, see, like I feel like I was talking on the hockey podcast that were a couple weeks ago. We were doing rankings for these jerseys, and I was like the only person that was like, yeah, I think the Dallas one is really good. And even the guys doing the Dallas podcast were like, no, it sucks. And I'm like, why does it suck? Like, give me a reason. He's like, because it's white. And I'm like, and? What? Like, what's the point? Like, what's your point? Like, they're like, oh, we wanted it black. And I'm like, oh, you wanted like the 90s, like early 90s ones when you guys were just coming from Minnesota. And he goes, exactly. And I'm like, all right, I guess that makes sense.
Like, I think the jersey itself is okay. I think the problem is it was preceded by their highlighter jerseys that they have now. So they're like, all right, these are sweet. And then they get the reverse retros and they're like, okay, this is just stupid. I mean, granted, could it be a little more color on it? Yeah, it should. But at the same time, it's not Detroit's where they did nothing.
Oh, Detroit.
It's not the Islanders. Like, it's not the Islanders where they just decided, you know what? I have a perfect idea. We're going to take the blue and go 2 shades darker and call it a day.
Yeah, that was...
What?
Yeah, essentially.
You're not wrong.
Like, I saw those, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. That is the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Andrew with the hot take. I love the Mighty Ducks logo coming from Anaheim. Shannon and I talked about this a lot. We love that duck.
Yeah, that one is solid.
I hate Anaheim, so it looks like a 10-year-old.
And this is just wrong.
Thank you. No, John, I'm with John.
It looks like a 10-year-old.
I think it's terrible.
Jack, I'm sorry, but no, I'm sorry.
I'm a Bruins fan, and
Jack,
I don't like the Bruins first retros. I don't like the yellow.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see more jerseys from Adidas. I really do.
Adidas has a lot coming up.
All right. So then let's all go through. What's your favorite reverse retro and what's your least favorite reverse retro? So I'll go. My favorite reverse retro by far has to be the Coyotes. I love that. And the one I hate the most is not based off of lack of design, but I cannot stand Detroit's. It looks ridiculous. It is so boring. It's like a 10th grader forgot to do his homework and the teacher's like, just put your name on it real quick and turn it in. And you'll get 10% credit. Okay, fine. So they just slap the logo on it and there you go. Like they should have done something where it was like I've seen a lot of the concept jerseys guys will do on Twitter. I mean, they're black with red. I'm like, those are sick, but they're like white jersey with a logo. Oh, well, we'll throw one little gray stripe on the arm to throw in some variety.
Colorado isn't bad.
Yes.
I like Colorado.
Colorado's sick. Yeah.
I also like Carolinas, the Whalers. That is pretty sweet.
That is awesome.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I love that they brought the Hartford Whalers back. But look, I would be biased and say my Rangers, but they're probably in the top 5, but they're not my absolute favorites. I would have to agree that Colorado is definitely my favorite one so far. I love how they brought back the Nordiques logo. It's absolutely sick. So Colorado, props to you on that. And least favorite, Detroit is definitely up there, but I'm sorry, I'd have to go with the Islanders. It's too basic. Like you said before,
not like he's biased.
It was just two shades of blue. It's like they literally put dark blue paint up on a wall and they just watched it dry for a couple hours. They're like, "Yep, that's our jersey." There you go. So
at least it's not Toronto having the same logo for the last 300 years.
Agree with that.
Wow.
It's Toronto. It's supposed to be the biggest hockey fan base on the planet. And then what are we going to do? We're going to change the shape of the leaf by like one little tiny detail. Here's our reverse retro.
It's sad.
Really I hate the gray shoulder on Toronto.
Oh, it looks stupid.
If that was white, it would be a lot better, but the gray looks terrible.
Oh my god! It looks
I didn't know how I would feel about the Canadiens jersey, and then I saw it in the game, and they're pretty slick. I do like them.
Yeah,
they're good. My favorite's LA, though. I wish LA would go back to the purple and yellow as their regular colors, like when they first came into the league. Because their black jerseys, for the most part, have always been kind of boring, particularly what the Gretzky era ones were nice. I loved that shade of silver that they had. Those were really nice. But from 2000s on, I think LA has always not had great jerseys. My least favorite, though, definitely Detroit. It literally looks like a practice jersey. Like that is what I wore during high school hockey practice. Like it's literally a practice jersey. I could not believe how bad Detroit's was.
Facts.
I mean, I'm going to sound biased, but I really don't care. My favorite has to be the one I'm wearing right now, the Devils one, because I look at it from this standpoint. Like, and not everybody is from New Jersey, so they don't get it. But the thing is that like we are the Garden State, and we use the colors to represent that. And what's great is that the green that we have is the Pine Barrens down in South Jersey. The red, green, and white is in my opinion better than the red and black. Like I get it, and I know Devils fans.
It's very Jersey.
Yes, very Devils fans. Devils fans want an all black jersey, and I've said before. Look, Adidas a lot of times will listen to that request, but it's not going to come out the way that you're hoping for. So that's what I'm fearful of. If we're going to end up getting a black jersey, which I'm pretty sure the next 2 years we're going to end up getting one. But I like this one. I like this whole thing. I wish that they would just go back to red, green, and white like as a whole, because I feel like that's really Jersey. But I also get it because red and black is when we won our Stanley Cups, which also makes perfect sense. The worst one, honestly, I don't know a lot of people have talked about this one, but I got to go with Nashville, to be very honest with you. I really don't get it at all.
They were in my bottom 5.
I mean, I don't really hate it. Honestly, I feel like it's just kind of like it's there. It's not something I have strong feelings about. It's not something I'm like, oh yeah, they did it right. But like I'm on board with whoever said the Islanders was crap.
Yeah, I mean, I like the fact though that the Predators brought back that old logo that they have on the side here. I like that. That's really cool. I wish that they had used that on the main logo here. But again, I don't know. It looks like a street hockey jersey to me. It looks like something you'd wear at street hockey or something like that. And I mean, also I agree. The Islanders one is really, I'm like really disappointed because I was hoping for Fisherman. I was hoping
just
for that.
Say that.
I think we all were,
and I'm pissed. Detroit is, like you guys said, is okay. The one that like I have a question about, and it's not necessarily a knock, I just have a question of what exactly they were trying to do with Chicago's. I guess they were trying to go like the old logo from like, I don't know, the 1920s, I want to say, with 1920s, 1930s. Like it just, like I think like some of their outdoor jerseys have been better than the reverse retro, but I think we all have to remember this. It also depends on how much money these teams put in to whatever jersey they decide to go with. Like every team puts in a specific amount of the money that they make and says, go make a jersey. So if they don't put a lot of money into it, it's not going to, do a whole, it's not going to be, as great as you would all hope. But,
then you would think Detroit's would be better. They're an original 6 team. Even though they're terrible, the amount of money they make is nuts.
Yeah,
I mean,
same
we've
thing
said
with
from the
Toronto.
start,
Yeah.
the original 6 is like such like irrelevant. There's no holding on to it right now unless you are that team. But hey, closing out our apparel convo, Shannon's texted me on the back end. She can't wait to see me in my new shirt.
It's beautiful.
There will be a picture on our
After the
page. If
chat.
you don't follow it, definitely check it out. It'll be up there probably by the beginning
doubt.
of next week. John, Off the Wall Hockey, Jimmy, Neil, Bottom Line. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging with us tonight.
No problem.
No problem.
Top of the
Thanks
hour,
for
we got
having me.
new games. Time to bring in some new guests. See you later, boys.
Thank you
later.
so much.
Cut off Jimmy. Oh well, I don't care.
Thank you.
But bring in our next guest. I know Jimmy's laughing in the backstage right now. Bringing in our next guest, Christy from Skating in Stilettos, another
Hi.
Devils fan joining us. What is up?
How are you?
I'm doing all right.
You're
Good
so
to bring in
right.
some more female energy to the talk.
Right?
I'm often overwhelmed by men. Alex, it is our turn.
Okay.
Hi.
That was a good hair flip. That was really good.
Yeah,
I'm used to it.
You got a house with some female energy in there.
Yeah,
I
my
mean-
daughter's enough.
What's better though than a female that can talk hockey? Is there anything better?
That's what I'm saying, which was my first question. Obviously, us females in hockey, not the most common breed.
No.
What got you into hockey?
It's I wish it was a better story. I worked with a girl who had an extra Devils ticket, and she put a thing on Facebook that said she had an extra ticket and was looking for someone to go. And I messaged her and I said, "Oh, I'm sure you're trying to get a guy to go with you, but I'll go with you." And that was literally it. I saw it, I fell in love with it, and now it's been many years later.
That's how I get like all my friends to go. When I was living in DC as a Penguins fan, I was like, someone come to a hockey game with me, guys. Let's all like hang out.
The only thing I knew about the Devils was my friend in high school. She used to babysit John Madden's kids. So that was like the only connection I knew was that John Madden was a Devils player.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, you've gotten to do a lot of cool things since coming into this fandom here. I know you posted you found an old press pass from 2012 recently.
2012.
Like, that's crazy.
So long ago. I know. I went,
Yeah.
we had like an internship, I guess is what you would call it, when I went to college. And the girl said, I can get you a press pass, you can go in. And I did twice. Twice I was able to do that. So that was a lot of fun.
That's crazy. And I saw also you've gotten to go to the draft before.
Yes. When McKinnon was drafted, my friend, his dad had a suite at Prudential Center. So we went for the draft. I have a picture with McKinnon from his draft day. Didn't get to see Seth Jones, which was a little bit of a disappointment, but it was a fun day to see the families and kind of see like how the families handle it, not just the players. It was fun. It was a lot of fun.
That's awesome. Alex, I feel like that's something we have to add to our bucket list here.
Yes. I am waiting for the draft to come back to Columbus.
You will also
Then
feel
you'll be
very
there?
old as well.
I'll be there. I'm still mad I didn't get to go to the All-Star game when it was here in Columbus. My dad got tickets from work, and I didn't know about it until after.
Oh.
Like, they gave it to him, and they were VIP. You could go back, hang out with people, see some of the players. You had all the activities and stuff. And he's like, "Oh, I had these. I forgot to tell you." And he's like, whatever. I'm like, looked at him. I was like, "Dude, are you serious? You didn't tell me this? I could have gone, seen some of the guys, hung out." And no, of course, whatever. Guess not. But
totally.
I definitely want to go to the draft at some point. I want to go to the draft and want to go to the Blue Jackets outdoor game in about 35 years when they might get one, maybe. But yeah, there's a couple of things I want to do. Oh,
that's going to take a hot minute.
I was hoping. Go ahead.
Yeah, go. No, you go.
No, I was hoping we almost had plans to go to the Blue Jackets game, the international series. So at the beginning of this season, the Blue Jackets, the Predators, I think the Bruins and the Avalanche were going to play in Finland. And we were about at the point we were going to go and get tickets and go to one or both of the Blue Jackets games over there. And we didn't. I'm glad we didn't waste the money on it now, considering it got canceled. But still, that would have been really cool to go see.
That would have been a lot of fun.
Yeah, Chrissy, you also say you're an arena traveler. How many arenas have you been to?
Not as many as I would like. I've been to Montreal, Boston, obviously New Jersey, Philadelphia, Nashville, and Washington so far have been on my list. But
that's not a bad start.
It's not a bad start, but I want to get to the West. I gotta go somewhere else.
I'm like going through my head now. I'm like, okay, I've been to Pittsburgh, DC, Jersey, New York. 4. Wow, I suck. But you know what? I got
Islanders or Buffalo.
Rangers.
Okay.
Because MSG.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Alex, what's your list?
I've been to 3. Was it when I first met my wife? She wasn't really into hockey, and I started getting her into it. And what we started to do is we're going to go to a different arena. We're going to go to a Blue Jackets away game in a different arena every year. So Columbus, obviously, and then I've been to Pittsburgh and Detroit. Detroit was really, really cool. Especially the new arena, but out of all of them, I think it sounds bad from a Blue Jackets fan talking about the Penguins, but Pittsburgh, that arena was probably my favorite to go to.
Or granted, new one.
Yeah, because we went. What was it? Not 2020, 2019, because we went to a game that was actually on my wife's birthday, and of course we got shut out. But I mean, you
can't win them all.
No, but I mean,
you
don't have a cannon, so it's kind of hard to beat that, unfortunately.
Darn. Sorry, we don't have.
You just have the Stanley Cup banners.
Yeah, I'll take the cup banners over the cannon any day of the week.
No, I'll take the cannon.
If you can go to an arena, what would be your next stop? Like, what would be the next one you go to?
I want to go to the Fortress in Vegas.
Ooh.
Alex?
Geez. So it's a two-parter. In the States, Nashville. I've heard, even though, I've heard that's probably some of the best fans and one of the coolest experiences you can go to. And then in Canada, I really want to go to Calgary, but only during a Calgary and Edmonton game. That's it.
Fair enough. That's good.
Because eventually we want to go on a Canada trip.
Yeah, I want to get to Vancouver really bad.
Yeah. Yeah, one thing we're doing is we're saving some money. So especially with Columbus, I know New Jersey and a bunch of other East teams are the same way. We want to try and go and follow the team on their West Coast trip. So when they go to LA and Anaheim and Vegas and San Jose, we want to go and follow them. I mean, LA, I don't really want to hang out.
That's how I feel.
I want to go to the game and leave. You can look offended all you want.
Whatever,
I'd rather go hang out in Anaheim.
I don't care about Anaheim. I'm in the heart of LA right now. I live in North Hollywood at the moment. But you know what? You're missing out. So you'll have to come sometime. But I'm really bummed that I didn't get to go to a bunch of games and stuff. I wanted to go to the new football stadium. I wanted to see a Kings game. I was really hoping that by the end of my stint here, because I'm only here for another 4 weeks, that I was going to get something. Clearly not.
Do we think LA is going to open up to fans like Columbus wants to do and what the Islanders doing, or is that no-go in California?
Columbus just approved it today.
Columbus approved it, but they have to wait for Ohio, right?
No, that's already
it's done.
Ohio. Yeah. So they approved 10% today. Yeah, Ohio and the city.
Yeah, the Islanders, I think.
Well, then I'm sure you'll see Shannon and I somewhat soon. But yeah, no, we just got outdoor dining back. We just got out of a stay-at-home order. There's no way. Yeah. Not a chance. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, for the Devils though, you guys have to just get hockey back, period.
Oh yeah. We have a long way to go.
Yeah. What's your feelings on how much this is spread through the team?
So I'm not really surprised, I guess. The bubble life proved extremely effective, which is great. And the realignment with the whole, with the traveling is really great too, but you can only do so much. So I'm not surprised that there's been so many games postponed. And with the Devils, I think, are the second youngest team this year in the league. And I feel like the younger the guys are, the more likely they're going to get COVID, and it's most likely going to spread.
Yeah.
And I think some of that comes down to maturity.
Yeah, I think there's just that they're 20, they're single, like you can go out to restaurants, you can, go to the bar. So I think the young guys are going to do that, and it's more likely to, to spread at that point.
Yeah.
So I'm not super surprised. I'm curious if the season has like a hard stop to end in April, how are we making up these games?
I don't think they're going to.
So
I think they're going to do how they did the end of last season, have to go by percentage. And
yeah, they said, so there's the hard stop because they can't run over a certain date because of the Olympics.
Yeah.
And they had said if the games played are different, so if everyone doesn't play all the games, they're going to go, the standings are going to be based off of points percentage instead. So, you could have a team like, for example, the Blackhawks right now in the Central are in third, but if you go based off of points percentage, they're not in the playoff picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's going to get controversy regardless, because I know that's what we ended up doing last time, and a lot of people were being like, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I think if we have to sacrifice the end of this season for, like, the Olympics to finally happen and to get an on-time start of next season in the fall, we just have to be okay with it.
Yeah. I want a regular season with fans, and
yeah.
I want a full 82 game season. I don't want these. I already dealt with the lockout season, and then last season and this season, I'm over it. I want a regular season. That's it.
Do you think it's going to be harder to get the Stanley Cup this season?
I think it depends what division you're coming from.
Well, I know I can speak for my division. There's it's ridiculous how hard this division is.
Yeah.
It's so hard.
Exactly. Like the East is so difficult, but if you're coming from the North, you're going to get kicked out so fast. In my opinion, I apologize to everyone who's listening. Jamie, I know you can comment on Canada if you're still listening, but I think that's just the reality of the situation.
Well, you look at the realignment and you think the realignment worked in Minnesota's favor and it worked in Toronto's favor. So, like in Minnesota's division, you got to think the top three teams, like St. Louis, Colorado, and Vegas, pretty much, unless there's like a huge injury, they have those three spots. Same thing in the East. You got to think Washington, Boston, and Philly, automatic. So you really have teams. You have 5 teams fighting for really just one spot.
Yeah.
So it's either going to work in your favor or not.
Yeah. Alex, what do you see for you guys? What's going to happen in Central? It's so early, but you're going to call it now.
Don't know. I mean, I still think the Blue Jackets are going to make the playoffs.
I do too.
There's so much fluctuation coming out of Central. It's
it's
every
crazy.
week you don't even know what's happening. Like I would have put Chicago anywhere near the top, but
no. But well, their goalie kind of came out of nowhere, which is Lankinen is. I don't understand that kid. I mean, he has to be in the conversation for the Calder. No questions asked. I don't know. Nashville was surprising, but also not surprising. We talked about that earlier. Detroit is, they're Detroit, but past that, I have no idea because Florida came out of nowhere.
Panthers.
Like they came out of nowhere. Now, do I think that's going to last? No, I think they're going to fall back down. I think that's it feels like a honeymoon phase type thing where they're going to do well for the first third of the season and then just kind of fall off the face of the earth, or just if they make the playoffs, it'd be 4th place or something like that. But I mean, unless something happens with Tampa, I see them winning again. But past that, I have no idea. There's so much going on in the Central. It's hard to try and figure out.
Yeah, definitely strange. What do you think from either one of you for the North? Do you think Edmonton is now going to hold on to being in that top half, or do you think they're going to fall back down?
Me personally, I think they're going to fall down, and then I think either by the trade deadline or in the off season, they're going to make a big trade for somebody. I'm not saying it's going to involve McDavid or Draisaitl or anything like that, because that's idiotic, but I can see them trying to make a big splash because, on our last podcast, we had one of our friends, Ethan, who is an Oilers fan from Edmonton, and we were talking about how the Oilers have so much firepower, but they just continuously seem to be missing something.
Yeah, and when you look at it by percentage, like they're back down. They're below that 4 line.
Well, you look at the Oilers on paper. You have McDavid, you have Draisaitl, you have Nugent Hopkins. You have a ton of these guys. You should think, oh, they're going to be on the top and win the Stanley Cup, but they always start hot and then just fall off.
But where's their defense, though?
Yeah, I think that's part of the problem.
Defense wins championships.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly, and I feel like that's been a big conversation.
Defense wins championships.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's like one thing we talked about from the beginning. It's like these teams can have like 1 or 2 star players, but without like a rounded out team supporting it, it's not going to get anywhere. And I think the Oilers this season has become like the perfect example of that.
I always have high hopes for the Oilers, and they just let me down every season. I'm like, no, this is going to be it. They're going to get it together. And then I see them, and I'm like, Connor McDavid's not enough. He can have a million individual trophies. He's not enough to carry an entire team. He can't play defense, and he can't play goalie. So until those positions are solidified, they're literally McDavid's kind of just wasting away.
I thoroughly think that he will not win a Stanley Cup in Edmonton. That will not happen.
I agree.
Yeah. I really want him to go to Seattle. They're not going to I think they're going to protect him by all costs, but I think I think it'd be good for him to try and get there and become their franchise player and build a team around him. That would give him I think his best chances based on how Vegas benefited from this type of draft.
I think part of the problem with Edmonton is, it comes down to a salary cap issue. Because you're paying McDavid $12.5 million a year.
So much.
Then you're playing Draisaitl $8.5 million a year. Then Nugent Hopkins $6 and James Neal $5 3/4. Past that, you're down to 2, 1.6, 1.5, 1. And you're blowing all this money on somebody, and you don't have any money elsewhere. I think that's part of the problem with places like Florida. You have Florida who had a massive contract with what was his name before Bobrovsky? They had him. Yeah. So they had Luongo. Yeah. They had a huge contract, and they kept saying, "Oh, we're not going to do that. We're not going to have a big contract with a goalie again. We won't do that again." Guess what? You did it again. I mean, you throw down $70 million on Bobrovsky, and his first year does nothing.
Yeah.
It's, you have these teams that spend a ton of money on 1 or 2 guys, like Toronto.
Prime example.
4 guys have almost half of their salary cap. And then everyone else, you have to find guys like Wayne Simmons who will take league minimum and Joe Thornton who will take league minimum. And then, okay, we have these 4 guys, and then you're bringing in a guy who's, about to retire because he's 60 years old. But past that, you don't have any space to do anything else.
Yeah. It's definitely hard. I feel like we talk about all these teams where it's like they're going to have to go to percentages because it's all thrown off. But then you have Vegas, who's still number 1. John said it right in the comments. They're still multiple games short of other people, and in points, they're still at the top.
But their roster is solid. They have 4 solid lines. They have multiple players that could take a face off. They have, they have everything. They have the defense. And that's the problem with a team like Edmonton is you're so top heavy, but when you go into the playoffs, especially the Stanley Cup final, it's the defense and it's the bottom 6 guys that make the difference. It's the Blake Colemans. It's, Mike Rupp when he did it for the Devils. Those are the players that you need. And when you're that top heavy, your bottom 6 or your 4th line, it's made up of really nobody. Even when the Devils ran to the Stanley Cup in 2012, it was the 4th line that really had it together that they can go out and give the top guys a break. You need that full roster. You can't just have, okay, well, we're going to send McDavid out for over half the game and see what he can do. You can't do that to win a championship.
Well, look at the last 2 years, probably one of the most visible guys in the finals has been Pat Maroon.
Yeah.
When he was with the Blues and then last year with Tampa. He's not making a lot of money. He's 3rd, 4th line guy. Same thing with when the Blues won it, Ryan O'Reilly. He wasn't making he wasn't like Tarasenko or anything like that. I mean, you have to have these guys who, 3rd, 4th line guys who are willing to scrap and get dirty and throw guys into the wall that McDavid isn't going to do or anything. It's just, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, it's definitely. I don't know. I'm just trying to get past this Penguins game. I can't take any more ties. I don't want an overtime win. I want a straight up win. We suck on the power play. I don't know what our problem is. Actually, I do. It's the defense. I'm really heated.
Would you trade Crosby, Letang, or Malkin to get picks and kind of do a rebuild? Because you don't want to be the Chicago Blackhawks where you have all these aging superstars and they're preventing you from doing a rebuild because you're holding on to that loyalty. So would you I think it's pretty much, I feel like every Penguins fan would say Letang over Malkin and Crosby. Would you be
I mean, Malkin's playing
Malkin?
like absolute shit. So like, I think Malkin needs to like take a second and like energize himself. But I mean, like, you keep hearing all these reasons, like he needs the fans and all this stuff. And he's still great. It's just, he's not playing. He's recognizing he's not playing well this season. It's really hard. But I mean, yeah, Letang can't stay healthy. He's no use to us if he's always out. Like, you never know day to day what he's going to be doing.
But wouldn't Malkin be the better trade though? Because you get more from him than you would from Letang.
You definitely get a better option from him. But like, you could still get more from him staying in Pittsburgh once we're back to like a normal format, I think.
Okay. I saw a rumor Crosby to Colorado. I said, can we stop with these rumors, these ridiculous rumors?
See, and this is where like the talk about our like new GM comes in. And I like texted Alex the other day and I was like, I'll be prepared to talk about it when we go live. And it's just like, I'm not mad that we got Hextall. I think he grew up in the Pittsburgh organization. His dad played for the Pens. Like, he's not new to this world. I think he did fine with the Flyers, like working his way with that organization. I'm at a point where like, I'm not going to appreciate any new GM because like, I know there's going to be changes. And he like said in a pregame interview today, like he's not here to like mix everything up. Yeah. But like, we're going to lose guys. And like, I think part of like being a Penguins fan is like, you like the history of our team. Like, our team has been together for so long and it's been such like a core centered group of guys, but like, it has to change eventually because we want another cup. Yeah.
Oh, he's actually one of the answers to the trivia question. Hextall.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Who else is commenting here? Oh yeah, this, Jim, you not wrong. Letang is a constant turnover blow. Yep. Jamie, what do you got? D'Angelo isn't going to Pittsburgh now. That's true. Alex, what are you thinking?
I'm too busy watching whatever dumpster fire Columbus has with their power play as usual.
I was going to say, not well.
Oh, it's not that good.
No.
I was going to say, it's not good for anyone.
I think this falls back on the coach thing again.
The penalty kill is not bad, though.
No, the penalty kill's always been good. It's our power plays. I mean,
do you like Tortorella as a coach?
There are aspects that I like, and there are aspects I don't. Like for example, no. Okay. So my thoughts on that is before he came, we were terrible. I mean, we were awful. One playoff appearance in 14 seasons, and we got destroyed by Detroit. That was what, 08, 09. Mm-hmm. And since he's been here, I mean, we've been in the playoffs for the past 4 seasons. Mm-hmm. It's just, I think that's the limit with him. And granted, he won a cup with Tampa. I get that. But there's something missing. And it's, we've gone through so many players in the last couple of years and different styles, quote unquote, with then their power play and things. And there's been one common factor, and that's been the coach and the whole coaching staff. And I think something is there that's just not going to work. His system is too defensive, and it doesn't let our offensive guys kind of play the way they want to, like with Pierre-Luc Dubois and Patrick Laine. And then granted, it was before his time, but you have guys like Rick Nash, and then there's Matt Duchene and Artemi Panarin. And his system is not letting these guys play to the ability that I think they could.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I was researching him for another podcast I was on last year, And statistically, I could be off by a year or two, but I think it's Tortorella's 4th year in the organization that's always been his best.
Mhm.
It's like his 4th or 5th, and then it goes downhill, and then he gets fired, or they don't renew his contract, or whatever it is. But there's like a magic sweet spot with him.
Yeah,
With
and I think
every
this will be
organization.
his 5th or 6th.
I think it's his 6th.
So if so, 4th year, yeah, because that's the year we swept Tampa in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of Tampa, Florida's beating them 4-1 right now. Good grief.
Those Panthers.
Wow.
Just say, yeah, that's rough for y'all.
Jeez.
Coach Q. Never count him out.
But yeah, it's the last year on his contract. There's rumors that he wants to leave, but still, I wouldn't bring him back. I think it's one of those things that I don't have anything against him as a coach or a player or a person or anything, but something in Columbus is not working. And I think we're past the point of continuing to try and go through players. We just get Patrick Laine and we still have his rights for signing. And then we got Jack Roslovic, who kind of is surprising everybody. We have the guys that have offense. It's just not the right structure. So the coaching, the system needs to change. I just don't know who's out there that we could use.
Yeah. Can we agree though? I'm actually having talking to a Columbus fan. Can we agree that Seth Jones is the franchise right now? Oh,
absolutely. But I cannot 100% agree to that right now, mainly because his contract is up after next year.
Could you imagine if Nashville didn't trade him and the first defensive pairing for Nashville was Seth Jones and Roman Josi?
They would be in Tampa's position right now.
How good would that have been if they didn't trade him? Because clearly, Ryan's not working out.
No,
Yeah.
I don't know where we would be because there's a lot of stuff that happened after that. I think if we didn't trade for him, then I honestly, even though it was different teams, I don't think we would have gotten Panarin when we traded Brandon Saad back.
Oh.
But I'm glad we got him. Don't get me wrong. If we can sign him to a long-term deal or something like that, and we scored. Oh my God. You got me started. I'm telling you what, I could talk for 10 hours.
We'll definitely do this conversation again. I feel like it's going to be like a whole new batch of content.
Exciting.
In like a few weeks. This will not be the last we'll see of you, Christy. We'll have you back again.
Okay.
Time for a changeover, y'all. It's drinking game time. Thank you, Christy.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye, y'all.
Jamie, I agree. I'm sorry, I saw it earlier. I didn't answer. Yes, I think Laine stays longer. We'll put it there. I could talk longer. What is up, guys?
What's going on, Alex? Megan? Alex, dropping knowledge, man.
That's just what I do.
The fantasy crew in here. For whoever's watching right now, what we're going to do right now is something that came up during a fantasy cast a few weeks ago now. That we learned here that Mr. Chris Pinto doesn't know how to pronounce any hockey players' names. So we're going to have a little activity in a few minutes. But how are you guys doing tonight?
Let me show you.
Oh, wow.
Oh!
No.
What happened?
I have a congenitally bad ankle, and I got tendonitis, so it's in a boot for a week.
That's rough.
Yep, happens when you get fat and old.
But at least you have a lot of hockey tonight to get you through it.
I do actually. Unfortunately, I had the unfortunate circumstance of watching Penguins and Islanders. So,
Well, hey, there's a better game on.
There is?
Yeah, Blue Jackets and Blackhawks.
No.
Where? Tell me.
Well, I mean, what are you on? NHL TV?
No, I've got ESPN Plus and I got Fubo.
I don't know if you'll have it.
Probably not.
Only one way to find out. But Meg,
try it out.
Well, Meg, I know you had Rod Peterson on your last podcast, so I wore my CFL team T-shirt.
Nice.
So I'm hoping we can have him on a New Credentials Required in a couple, very, very soon. That'd be great.
Yeah, awesome guy, super fun interview. I think Shannon and I are going to end up on his show in the next few weeks, so that's exciting for us.
Good deal.
But
guys,
yeah, if anyone hasn't seen that interview already, check it out. It's on our page on all of our platforms. Like, definitely a great interview. Rod is a man who has so much knowledge and so much like life lessons within the sport to give. Such a good interview. It was so fun talking to him.
And if Mr. Peterson's watching, not sorry for 2009 and 2010 Grey Cup. Not sorry, bud.
It's pretty rough. Guys, did y'all watch the Super Bowl?
Nope. I did.
Okay, well,
unfortunately.
Hey, I'm a Patriots fan.
I have to update the humans for watching really quick. Well, get over it. But we talked about on our live last week how I was supposed to go on a date for the Super Bowl, and people got really into commenting about this. And if I went, and he was a Bucks fan, so he was super excited, which like a good win for him. But I spent like most of it petting his dog because his dog was so cute, and I was like, I don't even care about the game right now because I
don't care about the game. I don't care about you. I just want to pet your dog.
Hey, I was 30 seconds away from winning $150 in the first quarter, and then after that, I had simply no way to get any of my boxes. I was so mad. I was livid.
Oh, so ESPN Plus has the Oilers and Canadiens.
Gross.
I'm okay with that. The North Division.
Oh yeah, they just. I was gonna say they have a goal already. Oilers up 1-0. Yep. Well, let's do a little score run through before we get into our activity. Penguins Islanders with just over 3 minutes left in the second, 2-2. Panthers are leading the Lightning 4-1. Blue Jackets, congratulations to Alex, are winning 1-0 at the moment. Almost done with their first period. The Preds are beating Detroit 1-0. Sens Jets still 0-0. The Oilers are up 1-0. And we have just started the Hurricanes and Stars, so we will see what happens with that game.
Fun fact about the Oilers and Habs. The Habs are wearing their reverse retro jerseys tonight.
Oh, nice.
The blue.
Yeah. I like those a lot.
How do you feel about those?
Literally the bleu in the bleu blanc rouge.
The bleu?
The bleu.
The bleu.
My 6 years of French from middle school and high school right there.
That's what it got you? The bleu?
That's what got me, the bleu. And the rouge and the blanc.
Proud. Okay, guys. You know what time it is?
It's time to make Pinto drink.
We're gonna start. Pinto, I'll give you a test question here. This is a jersey I was wearing earlier. Ryan, I know you'll know who this is. Go ahead and tell me.
Aruzioni, baby. Okay. Come on, Miracle. Come
on,
get out of here.
All right. That's fine. Hey, I just giving you a warm-up.
We'll tell everyone who's watching right now who doesn't know what we're talking about. We have created a drinking game through Fantasy Live from Belly Up that now we are going to throw a bunch of NHL names at our resident fantasy expert over here, Chris Pinto. If he gets it right.
Hailing from the Lone Star State of Texas, by the way.
Yep, coming from Texas. If he gets it right, Alex is, I'm sure, going to get a drink right now.
I need a drink too. Hang on.
He's got plans.
Be right back.
Well, are we the only ones who came prepared?
I guess so. Did you see?
I'm already one claw in. I didn't want to get into the hard shit. I was like, maybe next time we play, I'll do that.
I was just going with Bud Light for the Buccaneers. Tom Brady and them wild. So.
Stop it.
I am on the White Claw train. I'm doing watermelon White Claws tonight. They taste like Sour Patch watermelons. They're my favorite right now. White Claw, throw me a sponsorship. Why not? He's my next door neighbor. Who is?
What, Mr. White Claw?
I don't think that's the answer there.
It is.
Did you say the North is awesome? You must have. Who said the North is awesome? It was not me. Ain't no laws when there's claws.
Absolutely.
There ain't no laws in these live streams anyway. Because right now, when Shannon's away, the children will play.
She's gonna watch us and be like, "What's going on?"
She's watched it like intermittently, and it's fine. It is what it is.
So I got my beer. which is Miracle on Ice.
Nice.
From Northway Brewing in Queensbury, New York. Mighty 518 representing tonight.
Nice.
Alex brought the Eruzione jersey. That was a nice segue.
Listen, that's still probably my favorite movie of all time.
I got my newest one on. Ryan, you might think this is cool. I got the new Washington alternate jersey up in here. Alex, you can go away. It's a nice, Oh,
you got the dirty
nice vibe.
Yeah. Dirty 4-3.
You got a nice
Flair
new hat, right, Alex?
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, you got something else, right? I think Ryan would like that.
I did. I might have gotten another package from Alex last night. It came in the mail. This is my newest T-shirt.
Wow.
Pinto, who is that?
That's the love child.
Obviously, it's obviously the Philadelphia Flyers mascot.
It's the love child of the Yeti and Cornelius Yukon.
Oh, Jesus.
Yukon Cornelius.
Literally.
Who knew Yeti was a woman?
Why is everyone not following Candace and Tomahawks? Alex, tell them why they should follow you. Give them a reason.
We are awesome. Okay? It's about the only reason I got it. No, we try and get a lot of good content. So if you guys haven't seen, we actually just had a cool interview with Jean-Luc Grandpierre, who was he's a analyst for Fox Sports Ohio, and then he was a former defenseman for the Blue Jackets for 4 years, and he was actually the first black player for the Blue Jackets. So we were talking to him about Black History Month, Willie O'Ree getting his number retired, the Hockey Diversity Alliance, and stuff like that. That was a really, really cool interview to do with him. But we're trying to get more stuff like that, but we're going to have him on again here in the future too.
Yeah, y'all, if you won't remember how to spell this name, you can find it on our page. They're tagged in a lot of posts for tonight, a lot of the promotion for this live. Go check it out through us. You can find it there. They'll be tagged everywhere.
Also, when
Belly
that's
Up
down,
Nation up in here.
Absolutely.
Belly Up Sports is where it's at, y'all.
Jean-Luc Big Pete. Absolutely. The hyphenator.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Hey, guys.
You're insane, Jamie. We'll see.
Jamie, I think that's a little much to think for. I'm not expecting that.
Hey, at least she said it was DeBrincat. I'm okay with that because he's actually one of the better ones on their team. I would, if they were to win, I would put my money on Suter. But that's just me. I'm putting my money on a Blue Jackets win after the perpetual drama for the last 5 years. It ended for 15 minutes. I'm sure something else will happen today, so that's fine.
Okay, guys, let's do it. Alex, you are the official judge now.
Ooh.
Okay.
I love it. Okay.
We're going to start off easy-ish.
You say that right. Pekka Ryan.
Ooh, so cold.
Take a drink. And you know what? You can kind of go 3/4 of a normal sip. We don't want you to die here in 5 minutes. So just scale it back just a little bit.
The goal here.
It's not real beer.
Yeah, you might need some water or something.
That's what I'm drinking.
That's what he's drinking.
Oh, yeah, well, it's Bud Light, yeah. It's just
fornication in the canoe.
It's watered down water. No big deal.
Okay, new one.
Patrick Lane.
Drink.
Try again on the last name there.
I mean,
we need the Jeopardy music going
right?
here.
Lenine?
No. Drink.
No.
How do you gotta tell me how these guys
that is Patrick Laine.
Laine.
Oh,
and the first one, was
tilde over the E. Okay.
The first one was Pekka Rinne.
Patrick Ryan is a very Canadian
It's these
name.
E's.
Yes.
It's these Guys, I'm from Texas. Come on now.
Yeah. Yeah. Line A is a Canadian.
There's something over that thing for me to understand what's going on here.
Line A is a very Canadian name for being a kid from Finland.
Canada, obviously, the furthest thing away from Texas. Okay.
I think
We're
you
Fulton
really should get
Reed
a map.
Charlie Conway.
We call that.
Gordon Bombay. Come on. I know these names. Speaking of that, did y'all see Mighty Ducks is coming back to Disney Plus?
I'm excited.
Oh, golly. Justin, huh?
You got the first part right.
Just super. Yeah. Great. Bafug Line? Laine?
Did he really try to marry Buffer and Line? It's time to make Chris Pinto drink.
So how do you say that
I'm
one?
like crying right now.
Pinto, that is Dustin Bufflin.
It's so easy, and like for some of these, I like wrote it out phonetically just to like show you. Wait, no, okay. Wait, there you go.
Buffalin.
Easy.
Yeah.
Buffalin.
Buffalin. Okay.
Beautiful.
No tilde over that E. Got it.
Not
when it's at the very end of the name. Okay.
Oh, we're just hitting the tip of the iceberg.
Okay.
I found some
Maybe
great ones for you.
Okay.
You really did. Let's get rid of the E's altogether in this last name.
Okay, Matthew. Got that one easy.
Yes.
First name,
Solid.
no problem.
Yeah, you're doing good so far.
Half of it
I'll
done.
drink for Matthew.
All right, to be fair.
All right, fine.
Is he from Wakanda or something?
Oh my god.
Wait, Shannon just tweeted at us. Hold on.
He's from Wakanda.
I have to find it.
Oh my god.
Where'd it go? No, not that one. Have you tried again?
Oh, try it again. I get a second chance. Mulligan. Okay.
All I heard was Matthew, and then is he from Wakanda?
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
You actually pronounced this name on the podcast, on the live show, on the fantasy show, I think.
I think you did.
Pretty sure you did.
Tkachuk.
Try again.
Tkachuk.
I'll give you one more shot.
Did you say wrong tweet?
You're overcomplicating it.
Overcomplicating
Yeah.
this name.
Yes.
Okay. Tkachuk.
I'll give it to you.
I was gonna say.
I'll
I
give
feel
it to you.
like that's fine.
It's Matthew Tkachuk. It's
Tkachuk.
essentially the T is silent.
Was the extra C in Kachuk a kind of a ruse? Is it extra C at the end? There's no C at the
What
end.
at the end there?
Yeah.
I mean, that's like some people spell Zach like that. Zack.
Again.
I don't know.
TKACHUK. That's okay.
Yeah. Okay. We'll drink on that
We'll
one.
drink. We'll be fair.
Go Wakanda.
This is really gonna prep me for my dinner. Just being a little drunk already. These West Coast hours.
On White Claws.
This one I think you should get.
Oh man, I know that name because he's like really good.
And you probably pronounced this name sort of right on live show.
I was gonna say I feel like we talked about him when we were on the goalies
did.
breakdown.
I know he's a goalie.
We did.
His
Do you know
last
for
name
who?
is like Varlamov, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Now it's the first thing that's throwing me over right now. It looks like it should be Simon to me, but it's probably not Simon. So I was fishing there. So I'm glad all y'all have poker faces.
Is that JB from of the
Semyon?
Carmi? Oh, By
So-
God, I
so-
think you have it.
So what's his first name and last name?
So
You have to say it all together.
Varlamov? Oh,
Yeah.
One more-
I feel like the infliction can be a little different, but it's fine.
Yeah. So like we've heard Semyon Varlamov, we've heard Varlamov. I think it all kind of depends on who is
Who you
actually
are, yeah.
pronouncing it, to be
I
honest.
think it's like where you live.
I mean,
changes
yeah,
it.
right. If you use the word y'all all the
I
time,
do use the word y'all.
you know what I'm saying? Like you get to say things a little differently.
Dude, if I
I
say y'all in
The word
Ohio,
y'all constantly. That's how you know. That's how you know who's tweeting of Shannon and I. Because I'm like, come on, y'all. Like, let's chill, y'all.
That's
I'm
fair.
from New Jersey. Like, I don't know.
like if I say y'all in public in Ohio, they look at me like I'm from a different planet. It's insane.
That's like a different. It's like a different type of country.
Yeah, meth country.
No.
That's what Ohio is.
Oh,
North country, South country, and East country are such different country.
And then there's just Ohio is just one giant pothole right in the middle of the country.
My county, actually, it's funny. My county, where I live in New York, has the same kind of a similar shape to Ohio. It's heart shaped, so you know where it is.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think next time I have an uncle who lives in Ohio somewhere in one of the main cities. I don't know. I think it's Cincy. But I was like, next time my dad goes to Ohio, I'm gonna come and Alex and I are gonna go to a hockey game instead, and I'll just like chill out there.
I'll do if he's in Cincy, I'll go down Dayton, go to a Dayton Bombers game. That is sick. What is up, Boomer?
that is 100% true.
That's only
Herb or
Cleveland. Yeah. Okay. Touche. Fair enough. Well, Pickaway County is interesting. We'll just leave it at that. It is very interesting down there.
New name.
Jonathan Toes? Jonathan Towes.
We'll give him one more try.
It's definitely got Jonathan right.
Are you sure?
Yeah, you got that. Okay, I'll take half a sip.
He's
As
not
the
from
functioning liver.
Choose?
Drink.
Drink.
That's Jonathan Tays.
Tays. It was right there in front of me. Okay.
So, real quick, I know Megan and I kind of answered this earlier, so we'll repeat it real quick. What is everyone's least? What's their favorite and least favorite retro jersey?
Yeah,
My
favorite and least favorite.
My favorite by far is the Coyotes, and least favorite is, I said Detroit earlier, but in my mind, it's a tie between Detroit and Toronto.
Show off the one you're wearing right now.
Oh, of course. Got the new all Blue Jackets one right here. Aw.
Yeah, that's nice. I think my least favorite has to be the Islanders. My favorite kind of goes back and forth between the neon from Dallas. And I really like as a New Yorker, like I was living in New York before these crazy times. I do like the Rangers. It feels very much like home for me. So I would like to get that jersey at some point.
For me, my least favorite is also the Islanders because we're just so unimaginative.
They had so much more they could have done.
They had the opportunity to bring back the Fisherman, which was so hated at first, and now it's like the Fisherman's awesome.
Yeah,
there's an opportunity to do that, but no.
The Flyers are boring too.
My favorite was the Colorado Nordiques, Avadiques, where they paid tribute to the Quebec Nordiques.
Colorado Nordalanche.
So I'm looking these up right now because the only one I know about is the Dallas one. Oh, it's not. It's actually salmon, Patrick.
But that's not salmon. It's orange.
Well, with my ring light on right here, it's making it look orange. I'm an Aggie, so see maroon right here? It's the ring light that makes this look a little orange. I'm sorry, Patrick. A to B, man. I'm sorry. But I really like the Dallas retro jersey. It's like day glow for me, right? Like Dayglow party, stuff like that. You put that on, and it's like, let's go, 50-cent
What the
beer.
fuck is a day glow?
You don't know what a Dayglow party is?
Is that like a Dage or like a Darty?
Are you? Which one are you talking about? Are you talking about the black and like neon green one?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not the reverse retro.
Oh, it's not?
No, that was an alternate.
They
They
released
came out
at the same time.
So their highlighter jersey.
Oh, are you talking about the one that has like the really like weird cutout on like the logo or whatever?
On the state of Texas?
Yeah, it's he's
Oh,
thinking
like
of the
that.
black and like super bright lime green one.
No, same. That's the one I was thinking of.
That's what it shows me. Come on.
Yeah, that's not the reverse retro. The reverse retro is like their super boring white one.
Oh, that one's ugly. Never mind. I take it back.
Has the. Hold on.
I wanted the neon. But continue.
I wanted the Booterus.
I will bow out of this conversation then. My bad. You use Google and you type in something, you expect it to be right. So that's my bad.
This is their reverse retro. If you guys can see that.
Oh yeah, I don't like that
white.
Okay. Yeah.
But the cutout around their lettering is so bad. Like they have a hat like that too that I saw before, and I was like, I don't really like that. That's not cute.
Yeah.
It's kind of
Alex,
I'm partial to
Buffalo Sabres fan. Right, Meg's got this look on her face like, what is going on? Did you click the link I said?
No.
Oh no.
So
I don't like that.
So
I don't like that.
Boomer said his least favorite are Anaheim and Detroit. Detroit, we agree. Anaheim, I agree. They could have done so much better using the Mighty Ducks logo.
Yeah.
If they did that, 100%. So many people would have gotten that, especially with Mighty Ducks coming back. Now, granted that maybe they didn't know, but the amount of marketing they could have put behind that with the Mighty Ducks coming back to Disney Plus is nuts.
You know which other team had a missed opportunity to go with the retro? The LA Kings. The Burger King.
Oh, yeah.
Gold and purple.
Yep.
Because
little Boomer CBJ, his little icon is pretty cool. Have y'all seen that little thing that pops up in the desert?
Hey, he's one of my boys from Twitter. Okay,
man,
it's fine. It's fine.
Does he vanish? Does he show up and vanish suddenly? The monolith, like the monolith?
No, he's just talking about the Blue Jackets offense. It's fine.
Oh.
It just came up when I took down the comment. Okay.
Steve, easy.
We get Steve right.
Zerman.
No.
The Y's not
I will give you close, but try again. So you're in the right ballpark. I will give you that.
Zierman.
Now you're farther from that.
Ooh. Ice cold.
I will give you this because I feel like I have hardly drank it all. It's Zerman, and there is another sound in front of that.
Gezerman? Sermon? What else does the Y make? I don't know. Phonetically, a Y, an I? Zerman like an iPod?
Say that again.
Say it one more time.
Steve Yzerman.
There we go. There we go.
Cheers, boys.
Who's your Stanley Cup winner? Senators. Easy.
Vegas. Done.
Vegas.
Boys. Yeah.
Vegas.
Senators.
From the
Yes!
numbers, they're really good.
I'm just saying, I've been saying this from the very start, and people are finally getting on board with this. That Vegas
Didn't they win
can take it.
Their inception year or something too?
No, they went to the final, but lost in 5 to Washington.
Okay,
Yeah.
but they went there.
But like, I'm just saying, they're like at least 4 games behind a lot of people in their division ish, and they're still number 1 points wise.
Yeah, but who have they played?
But who will they continue to play?
Let's look at who they.
Yeah, it's like they're gonna keep playing the same teams over and over again. Like,
Well, so
you're almost through the entire division.
I get
They
it.
played
But
played
they've also been
Arizona.
they've been
They're
canceled.
first in their division.
Or they've played Colorado too already, right?
So they've played. Hold on, I need to move this.
Who are you trying to say they haven't played?
NHL,
Columbus?
their website sucks right now.
Correct. It's so glitchy
No,
right
so
now.
what I'm saying is
What
like
is your
they've played
what's your claim?
the Kings a bunch. And they played Arizona a bunch. They played Arizona 4 times in a row. The Ducks, like
Okay, they beat the Ducks 3 times.
yeah.
Alex, you ever see
also
that
the
film?
Ducks.
4 times.
You ever seen that film by Paramount? I think a great film by the great late Paul Walker and Vin Diesel called Fast and Furious. A win's a win, baby.
He's not
Right
wrong.
now, you're losing, buddy. So I wouldn't be talking about winning.
Oh my.
How I see it, at least I got one right.
Yeah.
After Ruziani, I was good.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm not serious about the Senators. My pick the whole time has been Colorado.
Okay, they beat Anaheim, Arizona again. They beat STL now?
St.
St.
Louis.
Louis.
You right. Is that? Yeah, you're right.
COVID and got postponed a bunch of games.
Yep. The Kings, Anaheim again. They have Colorado coming up this week.
I think that's going to be a real tale.
They have they have 4 games straight against Colorado, the 14th, 16th, 20th, and 22nd.
Yeah, one of them's a makeup game from the postponed game.
And
That one's
then
Lake Tahoe.
the week after they get their first game with the Sharks.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think they're going to be good.
Again in a
Yeah.
month. We'll have this conversation again in March.
Yeah, I do think they're going to be good. Don't get me wrong. And I think they're going to continue doing well. Do I think they're going to win the cup? No, I don't.
Want to make another bet?
Not yet. I gotta let a little bit of time go since the first one.
I was gonna say before your last purchase for me.
I don't have that
New
much
name.
money.
Neither do I. I'm 25.
You'll have fun with this one.
Tua's cousin, huh? Tua's cousin, I see. Tuvo Teravivian? No.
No.
The first name is probably wrong too, huh?
Yes.
Not Tuvo. Okay. Not Tuvo.
Sounds like you're trying to say like TiVo, like the
I mean, that's where I'm going with. So,
TV.
Alex, what's the name?
Teuvo Teravainen.
Okay.
And I feel like this one you can kind of pronounce it phonetically.
Sure.
Teravainen.
Yeah, it's just the AI in the middle of the name that throws people off. Who don't know.
Because you wouldn't try and say like the I for it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Finnish is a very tough language. I tried learning it years ago, and it's phonetically one of the hardest languages to learn.
Yeah.
It's like trying to learn Elvish.
I like this one.
So Shane, going with Shane on that one. And then
You and I are staying semi-even because I drink whenever you get first names right.
I love it.
You can't get some of these crazy names and then you're sitting there like Mike. Meg's like, all right, cool. I got a drink now.
Great, I'm in.
I love it. Something. I mean, man.
You can already see it in my face.
Gostis be here? I don't know.
Ooh,
He's like from Santa's Village.
Very close.
Yeah, you're pretty close.
It's close.
And since Megan's favorite team is the Flyers, she should know this.
Oh, yikes. I'll make it quick. Gosta beer. Oh, no.
Meg's crying.
You're close. That's Shane Gostisbehere.
Fun fact. he played at Union College for up in Schenectady, New York, right around the corner from me.
I'm going to say
2014 national championship team.
Yeah. I'm going to say that by the time next season is over, we'll get you fluent in hockey name.
Oh, for sure.
Okay, here's a new question. Which jerseys do you prefer of the NHL? The Adidas authentic jerseys or the Fnatic replica jerseys? I believe a lot of people don't like the Fnatic jerseys because they are so cheap looking. I'm just going to say right now, I'm putting that back up. The one I'm currently wearing and my Vegas jerseys are both Fnatic jerseys because I can't spend $250 on every jersey I want to buy.
My opinion with that is
I'd rather have more jerseys than pay $100 extra for each one.
Yeah, I think a lot of that depends on how much you want to spend because I have like this one obviously is the authentic because that's the only one they have. They don't have a Fanatics one, but I have authentic ones and I have Fanatics ones and I like all of them. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I like them all. If I had to choose which one would I like? Oh, I'm going to choose the authentic, but they're so expensive.
Yeah. I would if someone was going to give me no price wasn't an issue, any jersey I wanted, I would definitely do that. But when I look at this jersey, this one's a Fnatic jersey. I think it's so dope. It looks great in person too. I don't think there's anything wrong with getting those, but it's just depending on who you are and what your price point is, it's going to change.
Well, I like the Fanatics ones a lot because they're comfortable. And
they're lighter.
Yeah. Well, and for me, you don't have to deal with the fight straps in the back getting in the way. If you're tucking your shirts in or something underneath or anything like that, you're not having to deal with that.
I have a Heroes of Hockey Lemieux jersey, which is a real authentic, whatever you want to call it. And that strap gets really annoying.
They're more comfortable with a hoodie. Oh, absolutely. I always wear sweatshirt jerseys with a hoodie underneath. I almost never wear a jersey if I don't have a hoodie.
I get these jerseys so big too because I like to wear them as dresses sometimes, which I do it for I think that's the college football tailgate in me that wants to wear oversized jerseys as a dress, even though you really shouldn't. But it is what it is. What Alex was saying is so comfortable under a hoodie. Yeah, my jersey right now I think is at least 3 sizes too big, but I love it. So
you're blowing my mind right now. What's the strap on the back of a jersey? What are you talking?
Here, I'll show you. Hold on.
So I'm not. Yeah, while you're showing this,
here.
I'm not a big jersey guy.
I've got.
I don't.
There's a small one in this USA jersey I have. It's this little strap right here, and what guys will do. I know it's not I have one in here. Yeah. So this one you can kind of see. There's this big old fight strap right here. And they'll sit there when they wear the jersey, they will attach it to their pants. So that way, when they end up getting into a fight, they can't rip your jersey off. That's why they're called fight straps.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Is there a Dunkin' Donuts in Ohio? Yeah, but that involves me leaving my house, and I don't like doing that.
I prefer a Tim Hortons, actually.
I really like Dunkin'. Every Saturday morning, because I in LA wake up between 4 and 5 a.m. for work every day so that I can live on the West Coast and still work my East Coast job because I love my job. And so since I can't sleep in, I wake up by 7 every Saturday because my body is you're up. So I drive to Dunkin' 15 minutes out of my way every Saturday for a nice Dunkin' coffee for my Jersey soul to feel awake. Fun fact, Jamie, if you want to send me a gift card for Penguins win, I'll take it. Why not?
That would be supporting the Penguins. That's disgusting.
You're disgusting. We just get so mean on these. I feel nothing is more fun than other than having the entire belly up community shit on me for a week for not following everyone on my personal account because my personal Twitter is politics, pop culture, and college football / hockey is the distant cousin. And I'm no one wants that. No. The cat is scoring a hat trick in this one, buddy.
Well, he's got to score first. Hasn't scored yet.
I think you need one first. Ooh, how about Krispy Kreme donuts? We have a giant Krispy Kreme in Burbank that the line is always at least 20 cars long.
We used to have a Krispy Kreme. We used to have a Krispy Kreme in Albany. It closed a long time ago. We just got Duck Donuts recently.
Ooh,
Duck Donuts is so good.
Duck,
We have
great.
there's a really big Krispy Kreme in, if anyone lives in DC, where's that? in DuPont Circle. That's really nice. It's a great place to go when you're done drinking at night, when you go out in DuPont. Oh yeah, hey, just like DM me. There was like honestly a full day of like people being like, she doesn't follow me either. Oh my god. And I'm like, okay, like just call me out and I'll do it. It's fine.
I'm still waiting for a follow too.
On your
saying.
Dang. I'm gonna go check right now too then.
I guarantee you I don't.
Let's see. I know my man Alex does.
This was Alex. When was this? This was like a week ago or 2 weeks ago.
It was like
Ryan.
a week and a half ago or something like that.
It escalated so quickly too.
Oh, I know.
Because like one person said it, and then everyone was like, "Oh hey, me too. Oh hey, me too."
Was it Kevin?
Yeah.
Was it Kev that started it?
No. It was.
I thought it was.
Because Kev was all about it too.
Kev or was it? No. It was someone else. It was. I'll find it. God, I literally follow no one.
Jamie, I don't know who you are, but I like your style. Five Guys. Love Five Guys.
Oh,
Five
yeah.
guys. Five guys all day.
Let's go.
I follow Cannons and Tomahawks.
That's good. That's like me getting the first name right.
If you
follow
prefer
Alex.
White Castle over Five Guys, you're a 19-year-old stoner,
Or you're from New Jersey.
or you're from New Jersey.
I'm a
Either way.
25-year-old stoner, and I like Five Guys.
Well, it's because you have. Well, I would say you have class, but with the jersey you're wearing and the team
I
you
was gonna
like,
say you're
never mind.
New Jersey. I don't know.
I'm so classy that my pen is gold.
Yep.
This is like what happened last time. What?
Yeah, but you like the Flyers. It's your favorite team. It's
I'll
your
never.
favorite shirt. I know you love it.
So I don't get to drop a lot of knowledge on these kinds of shows, but I'll drop some knowledge since everyone likes Five Guys, right? So do you know why it's called Five Guys?
Because Five Guys started it.
Absolutely not. There was like 3 or 4 guys that started it. Five Guys was named after the fraternity of Kappa Sigma, the 5 friends and brothers. So Kappa Sigma, Five
You would
Guys.
know that. Did you have to learn that in your history?
Absolutely not. I didn't know what Five Guys was until I saw one and I asked one of the owners, and he was like, "It's a fraternity thing, Kappa Sigma." I was like, "Wait, what?"
And it just happened to be yours.
Yeah, because I've never heard of those. They're very rare down here in Texas.
Which fans are the worst in the NHL? Oh my God, Toronto, hands down, in my opinion. That is so easy.
Fans are the worst.
That is so easy.
You get kind of cranky when you haven't won a championship since 1967.
Well, there's a two-parter for that. Overall, Toronto. In the short term, it's always whatever team won the Stanley Cup the previous year, no matter what, especially on Twitter.
No.
Yes.
Penguins fans are the nicest people.
You need to stop lying to people.
You need to be more aware.
Alex had to like calm himself down for a second. He hit the pause button.
Well, Philly, the whole city sucks. So
Well, no one
cares about
Philly.
Well, you are. It's your favorite team.
This is going to end really fast.
This conversation is quickly turning into a confrontation.
And I invited him here to be my co-host tonight. I was like, Shannon's gone. Who can go live with me? Let's bring on Alex. We're like, he's so normal and fun to talk to.
But here's where your problem was, okay? You're a Penguins fan. I am a Blue Jackets fan. All right? That's like being a Browns fan, inviting on a Steelers fan and thinking you guys are going to, actually be nice to each other.
It's like a Jets fan inviting a Patriots fan on too.
Hey, you watch it. You don't talk about those Patriots fans. They are some good people, especially the real ones.
No,
not Not the ones that have been Patriots fans since 2001.
I was gonna say since 2000. Oh, since 2001. That's fine. Yeah,
I'm talking
Drew
prior to
Bledsoe
that.
Patriot fans.
I'm talking Ty Law, Ben Coates, Drew Bledsoe.
that's 2001.
That's no.
Okay.
Before that. Before that. Considering I got a bunch of Patriots jerseys and I never got a Tom Brady jersey. Never wanted to.
Oh.
Well, it's like you look at teams like, for example, the Penguins. You see a Penguins jersey, 99% chance it's going to be a Crosby jersey.
Sidney Crosby.
Every time.
His name not up here.
Because you know how to pronounce it.
I don't know how to say that.
Speaking of,
Jeff Byron just took one in the
I think
ear.
it's time for another name, Megan.
Yes, there is. Yes, it is.
I'm trying to follow everyone who hates me on Twitter.
That's a long list.
Oh,
I
wow.
Another Finnish name. We need some diversity in some of these names.
So all these names are all these, like, Finland's not a big place. Why are these names like this? These are like, so
It's
my
not
dad's
a
from
big
India,
place, but it's a
so
big hockey place.
That's fair.
Can't confirm.
So Jesse Pulivari. No.
Try again. You might as well just start drinking. I don't think you're going to get that.
Yeah, no.
I think we mentioned this on the show too.
So this one's weird. It's Jesse Puljujärvi.
Okay.
It's
that Y moment.
yeah. If they show it phonetically, it's like Pool E Yarvi, but it's Jesse Puljujärvi.
Yar.
It's
next.
Yar.
Brady Ski.
Fun fact, I actually had a fun time getting Zach to pronounce this name properly on one of our episodes.
Zach's a pro, so you know.
One of these days we're gonna do like when there's like weekend games, Shannon, that are like during the day. Shannon and I talked about we're gonna do a brunch. We're gonna do a bottomless brunch. And like everyone's gonna come on and we'll play this once we're all like an hour into the bottomless brunch.
No one's gonna beat me. I'm telling you that.
I'm gonna have
I will
Shannon
make that bet now. Nobody will beat me.
I will.
Oh, that's bold.
Great. You got okay. Well, you three
All right,
are
we
gonna
got
be
our
panelists.
championship. We got our championship right now.
Go.
Y'all will be our panelists when this comes out.
Perfect.
Man, that good old LA y'all.
Mark Schiffelli.
I'm not from LA. I just
wait. We
live
didn't
here
get the
now.
proper name.
Yeah.
Y'all.
Pronunciation of the last name.
We try our best to be entertaining.
So the previous one
What was the previous one?
it's Brady Shea.
Yep.
Shay. Wow, that's cool. Okay.
It's Swedish.
Yep.
He's from Sweden. Okay. Got
No,
it.
he's from Minnesota.
It's Minnesota.
Thanks, Jamie.
I just saw Pinto's brain just go, what?
It's like, whoa, okay.
We gotta make that a GIF.
I'll save it.
His brain just like exploded. Check your ear. Make sure you're not bleeding.
I know.
Oh,
Bleeding?
side question. Which
Oh, yeah.
fans are the worst in the NFL? Eagles.
In the
That's
NFL.
That's an easy one. It's the Eagles and Cowboys. Yeah, I mean, your first team you have in there, Donnell, 100% disagree with you. 100% disagree with you.
So
'Cause-
being here in Texas, man, I mean, I'm a Texans fan, but a bunch of
Let me
my
tell you,
friends are Cowboys
Texas
fans.
football rates real well.
Cowboys are just the like true diehard Cowboys fans. They're just like incorrigible. Can't take
See,
Jamie, stay tuned.
See, I've got local fans. So I don't like Eagles and Cowboys fans, but exactly, Jamie, the guys in the dog pound in Cleveland, man, they are insane. I went to a Patriots and Browns game with my dad, I think when I was like 12 or 11 or 12. And I was wearing a Patriots jersey. My dad was wearing a Patriots jersey. It's in Cleveland. and there are guys trying to like shove and spit on me and all this other stuff. I'm like, dude, I'm 12. Now that game, we beat them like 47-3, and I didn't hear a single peep when we were walking out of the stadium. Not a peep. It was one of the best games I've ever been to.
I'm going to post the one that Jamie keeps mentioning. I'm just trying to make sure I get the spelling right.
Oh, I know exactly who it is.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Give it a second. Come on. Come on. Come on. Whatever. I'm Peterson's favorite. Peterson. I always want to pronounce it with a D. What?
No, I said Rod or Doug.
Okay, ready?
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Disappeared.
Go.
There it goes.
Come back. Is it back?
This is like a Disney villain right
again?
here.
It's on.
Yeah. He's the villain in Frozen 2.
There we go.
He's definitely not, because my daughter loves Frozen. She got the
I was definitely Frozen. Sorry.
Jaspier. Jasperi. You know,
I'm back.
and like, I don't know, is the last name from Japan like Konami? Konami? Like, it's like a mixture of Jafar and Konami. Like, what's going on? Dude, like Dragon Ball Z and Aladdin. I don't know what's going on. So,
Oh my Lord.
Oh my goodness.
I almost want to make you try it again.
not gonna do it. I don't want to butcher the man's name. He's a professional athlete. I got too much respect for him, even though I can't say his name.
You got too much respect. You'll still call him an evil villain right alongside Jafar.
Hey, any publicity is good publicity, right? Those are, I mean, he's an icon. He's in not only in the Aladdin movies, but in Descendants from the new Disney movies. I mean, he's an icon. He's in Villainous, the game, multiple video games. So, dude's got a stellar career, better than mine. So, props.
That's Jasperi Kotkaniemi.
Wait, what?
Jasperi Kotkaniemi. They just call him Kotka in Montreal because it's easy. Or they'll call him KK.
KK, I like it. That's what I'm going with next time I see that name. KK.
See, I was in such an internet glitch for a second. So every time you tried to do it, I was just like, Key? And I'm like, I keep hearing these like question marks at the end. Like, what? But then I finally came back and I was like, oh, good timing. Okay, we're almost done. This is the last one.
Nicholas.
I'll give you that one.
Deschalaris?
We'll give you Nicholas.
Desloris? No.
It's Delorier.
Hope he likes Back to the Future.
Jesus.
I did not bet on the Gatorade color, actually. I very rarely sports bet. I'm just getting into it this year. Check out Mikey Bets on Belly Up Fantasy Live. Delorier.
There you go.
Jamie, man. I need to...
Jamie coming in clutch with the phonetics.
I need to get him as my tutor.
New York's getting mobile sports bet very soon.
Oh, Donnell, that has to be the easiest question I've ever had. Who's the GOAT of the NHL? Gretzky.
Yeah, that'd be easy, right?
No one is ever going to touch his records ever. You could have.
I'm saying I don't think anyone's ever going to like challenge that. Like I think even if they wanted to like say someone else, they would always respect it. They'd be like, oh yeah, that'd be at least a consideration.
Yeah.
Where I feel like in the NFL, like I hate Tom Brady. I have no interest in him being called that. I think it's whatever. But I feel like anyone in least in the NHL will always respect if someone says Gretzky.
Well, here's the thing that shows this. Okay, on average now in a normal 82 game season, guys are getting 40 to 50 goals a year.
Yeah,
he got 92. Like that's
Wow.
almost impossible to beat. And right now, that would be what an average of just over a goal per game. He got 163 assists in one season. He's got 10 Art Ross trophies.
Yep, he's broken the 200-point barrier not once, twice.
It's
And he scored 50
insane.
goals in 39 games in that 92 goal season. Nuts.
The man is nuts. It doesn't make any sense.
And if you took an NFL comparison, I would compare him to Jerry Rice. Because Jerry Rice has a myriad of wide receiver records that will never be broken.
It's true.
Total touchdowns, receiving yards, receptions.
Plus longevity.
Jamie, I
So with
swear to
his-
God, I swear we have people join us who are outside of
He's a
Belly Up.
movie.
This is like we honestly more often than not have people who aren't from Belly Up, but like next DM the Twitter and I'll do it for next week.
Oh man, he's a Newfie. We gotta have him on to just talk. Newfies have that special language that they. Newfies have the special language. I think it's the Newfies.
Love the dog.
We just so happen to be the squad. Well, this started with Alex is my co-host. That's why he's here because he's subbing for Shani. And then we wanted to play this game with Chris to get him drunk. And then since Ryan was there when this all started, that's why it came about. But we had a bunch of people on earlier who are from different NHL podcasts talking about Rangers, Devils, and their COVID issue. And
Oh,
yeah, all the
they
issues.
finally play on Tuesday. I'm so happy.
Do you think that's actually going to happen?
For now.
They've got players coming off the COVID list. They've had 3 in the last 2 days. Finally, they
There's
still
like
have
21 of
16.
them. There's
No, they're down to
21 of
16.
them.
They're down to 16 as of today.
Okay.
Palms just came off the list.
That's
Darren Govish just came
still
off the list.
high.
It's a
It is
lot.
high. I mean, you know what? I'd rather get this done earlier than later.
So-
We'll make sure that when you come on that we'll have Alex there too.
So if this explains anything with Gretzky, I was looking. He's got 1,487 games played. He has 2,857 points. The next closest guy is Jaromir Jagr with 1,921 points, almost 1,000 lower, and he played
almost twice as
about
many.
250 more games.
Yeah.
Well,
Where's
I mean,
Ovi at?
he's still
Where's
playing.
Ovi at?
Absolutely
In what?
incredible.
In goals?
Points. In points.
Let me see if I can find it real quick.
So I feel like every 5 minutes he's like
He's
getting
at-
up and beating some records.
He's at 1,290. So he still has.
Right. So he's obviously not going to get there, but it's high.
No. If he beats anything, if Ovechkin beats anything, it's
He'll
gonna
be like number
goals.
2.
Because he is the highest active player in goals. He's 7th with 711, and Gretzky on here it says 894, which I feel that
Jamie,
that's wrong.
we talked with Rod Peterson the other day, and Shannon and I really want to be more well versed. I feel like I'm frozen. Am I I don't maybe.
No,
We
you're
really
fine.
want to get more well versed in Canada. So message us and I'll make it happen. We want to hear the Canadian perspective. Because Shannon and I are so bad at leaving the East Division.
It
We
depends
do
on
well
where-
with the West, but Central's not our mood, which is why Alex is always around.
I know quite a few Canadians. It varies on different parts of the country. Like Quebec, it's Montreal, all the way. At the Atlantic, it depends on where you are. I know there's a lot of Canadians fans in Nova Scotia, and because Crosby played in Quebec.
Right.
Ontario, it's always going to be split between the Leafs and the Leafs and the Senators. Most of the Leafs because Ottawa. You think Winnipeg has the Prairies, which is Saskatchewan and Manitoba. Alberta is always split. Always the Battle of Alberta between Edmonton and Calgary, and the West Coast is Vancouver.
Yeah.
But I don't know the territories, though. I don't know who the territories represent.
Right.
Jamie, can you help me with
what did I say? I had a thought in my head, and then I don't know why. I don't know.
Like my Canadian team, and there's reasons. I mean, I've liked them. I kind of liked them before, but it's the Canadians.
Oh, I remember what it was.
Mine too.
So before it was, I love Carey Price. I think he's just a really good guy. And he's a good goalie, but he's just a great guy. Yeah. And honestly, the guy is kind of hot. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, well, I'll go that way. Don't even care.
Man crush.
If I swung that way, I would go after him all day. But I like Josh Anderson. I loved him in Columbus, and when he went to Montreal, I still like the guy. So I'd have to say
a hockey player.
Yeah, Matthew Tkachuk.
No,
from Wakanda.
He's a hockey player. Yeah,
the Tkachuk from Wakanda.
Wait, but I remember what I was saying, and this is relevant.
Bet you wouldn't tell him that to his face.
When I was younger,
Wakanda forever.
When I was younger, I used to fight with my dad about a lot of parts of hockey because, like, after I got into it, I got more into it than he was, and it got to a point where during one of the Olympics, when the NHL players were playing, because it didn't happen last Olympics, I wasn't allowed to watch it with the rest of the family because I liked more players on Canada. So I was rooting for Canada to win because I was just like, I want more of these. I want better for these players than I do from the ones on the US team. And I was not allowed downstairs. I had to watch it upstairs on a different TV. And it was like the entire way through the Olympics that year, I was not allowed to watch hockey with my father.
I feel like if you're rooting for, if you're in Canada, it's fine. But if you're outside of Canada and you're rooting for Canada in the Olympics, I feel like you're rooting for Thanos.
But when you're rooting for America, it's so different for hockey because so many of our players who we love in the NHL aren't from here.
No.
So why would I root for a team that has less players that I root for just because it's the Olympics? I'm not going to root for, I don't know, a crap team in the Stanley Cup if I don't like it. I'm going to root for the team I want. I'm still going to pick my team based on who's on it.
But did you root for Jamaica when they were bobsledding?
I don't remember.
That baby, that should have been the name.
Probably, honestly.
We have a bobsled team.
Sanka, man.
I think
greatest kart driver in the land.
I think with liking the Canadian teams, Megan hit it right. There's one deadly sin with liking a Canadian team, and that would be if you live in Calgary, you're not allowed to like Edmonton, and if you live in Edmonton, you're not allowed to like Calgary because you'll probably get shot.
Yep.
That is, you think of
guns in Canada.
Well, they'll shoot you with maple syrup or something, but throw a pancake at you or something.
I used to go to Canada every year.
Sorry, buddy, I didn't mean to shoot you.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
My family used to go to Canada every year to go skiing. I was that kid skiing on a leash when I was 3. And we used to have these maple on a stick was a thing where we were. And they would have an ice bed. They would put a line of maple whatever, and you'd put the stick on and roll it up, and it was just like a maple syrup popsicle, and it was so good. Mm-hmm. Yes, Rod Peterson. We talked to him literally yesterday. That's our new episode. Jamie, hold on, Jamie. If you haven't listened to that episode, we literally talked to him yesterday. So check out our latest episode because it's really a good conversation, and then we're going to be on his show soon. So that'll be on TV too.
Yeah, Canada has good food because they don't fry everything like we do.
Yeah.
Quebec has the hard attack on a plate known as poutine.
Well, yeah.
Oh, poutine's so good.
But they're also not deep frying butter and then deep frying Oreos. I mean, I know one state that loves deep frying everything. Keep looking around, Texas boy.
I was gonna say it's not us.
I'm not saying a particular state, but it rhymes with.
It ain't
Texas.
me.
We're petty like that. We love that shit.
Everything's bigger in Texas, man.
Yeah. Got to go and deep fry your butter while strapped up with
everything.
a 6-shooter.
We got a lot bigger clips these days than that. But have you ever had deep fried Dr. Pepper?
See,
What?
This is
Like
what
a
I'm talking about.
beverage?
A beverage, yes. Quite delicious.
I've seen deep fried water. Like, this is just why is this
Is
a
that
thing?
not just like throwing in the freaking, I don't even know, like the dough into, I don't know.
Have you
The
been to
fryer?
Subway? You know, they're sandwich artisans, whatever they're called. People at the Dallas County Fair with the Twinkies, the Oreos, the ice cream, the butter, the Dr. Pepper. They're artists, man.
Why eat fried butter? I get an Oreo.
Why not?
The
I
fried
would
butter was
never
just
eat
like
a
that.
fried
That was just
Twinkie,
a
but
thing. Like,
fine.
it's not a real thing.
But
You, like-
why a fried stick of butter?
No, that's
Do you
not a
want-
real thing. I was going with that from what
No,
Alex-
that is
No.
a real thing.
It's real. Like, that is literally the way to triple your cholesterol for life. Eat one. Just eat one. It's fine. And
Now,
you will.
is it Irish butter or is it just butter? Like,
Who
in a
cares? It's butter.
well,
There's a
there is
difference. There's a difference.
Oh,
Irish
yeah,
butter is from
Paula Deen
grass-fed
makes,
cow.
there's like cream cheese in it and stuff like that. Paula Deen,
I
yeah.
still wouldn't eat fried cream cheese.
I mean, it's like one of those cheese curds, whatever y'all have up north, right?
I
well,
don't eat that either.
Pinto, remember, that's LA. Everything has to be organic.
Okay, I live in LA right now. I'm here for 6 months total. I'm not from here. So whatever.
Then Jersey, it has to be on a pizza. So there's one way or the other.
I lived in
Or a
Jersey
bagel.
in
Or a
years.
bagel.
Or a bagel. That's right.
Okay, fine. You can.
Oh,
I'll give you that.
Meg,
Deal.
question. Is it Taylor ham or Taylor pork roll? Since you're from New Jersey.
don't eat it.
What?
But I would say Taylor ham.
Good. Okay, that's the right answer.
Guys, I'm in overtime right now and I'm really stressed.
Oh,
Yeah,
Sort of
I don't know if you.
I've frozen.
Let it go.
I was dead. You were too quick with that.
I'm
That's
back.
good.
I'm in overtime. I'm definitely not back.
You're back.
whoa!
wait.
Did I just learn something? Hold on.
Converse without me.
I'm gonna be mad.
Jamie.
I am
okay,
so
you're talking
mad
about
right now.
Halifax and Nova Scotia. What do you know about Oak Island, my man? Anybody? Oak Island fans? Nothing? Okay.
I know about the Alamo.
You can never forget it. Tear, Alex.
We just
Alex,
got
oh my god.
IHOP in Halifax.
Do what?
Jimmy just said we got an IHOP. We just got an IHOP in Halifax. LOL.
Halifax is Nova Scotia, right?
Yep.
So that's what I'm saying. Jamie, what do you know about Oak Island? Tell me. What do I need to know?
Halifax.
Halifax in the house, baby.
That's the Halifax Highlanders. That's the team that Dougie Glatt played for in Goon.
Yeah.
Is that with golly, what's his name? Stifler.
Yep. Sean Patrick.
There we go.
Pick 69. It's hilarious.
That's hilarious.
I'm back. I'm back.
Oh, Jamie knows what I'm talking about. They haven't found the treasure yet. I know it. The series is dragging on. But it's cool to see like the younger kids, Alex and his cousin, grow up into it like the brothers. It's cool. History Channel's smart. They're smart. They're gonna keep on. They probably already found the treasure. Is the deal?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, I'm back. Oh my god, I had to relocate. I'm in the middle of overtime and my Wi-Fi has been shitting out and I lost my feed on NHL TV and on here and I was like, I must move closer to the Wi-Fi. I moved out of my room and now the Wi-Fi is like right there. But my roommate is gone, so I'm in the living room. But anyway, guys, I'm really stressed.
So, Alex, you're angry. What? Why for?
Because I just found out you can do multi-view on NHL TV.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
But I don't really watch other teams that much, so
You
I'll
can
let
also put like a score bar at the bottom.
Ooh. Scroll like scrolling scoreboard.
Kind of, but then if you click on a game, it'll bring you to that game. Oh, I can't handle this.
Yes. So the teams I've seen a lot of the teams where they're reverse retros. Donnell. On TV, my favorites that I've seen are probably Montreal. I was kind of skeptical before the season, but I love those blue jerseys. I don't know why. Oh, thanks, Jamie. Appreciate that. I'll get to that in a second.
What's going on here?
I'm not honestly. If they don't want to be in Columbus, I don't care. I mean, it's fine. Like we offered him $12 million a year. We offered him a $12 million 8-year contract, and he turned it down. I don't think offering big contracts like that is necessarily good because then it screws you up and ties you down in the future. That's why I'm hoping, with Laine, his contract is technically up after this year, but he's still a restricted free agent with arbitration. If they lock him up long term, it needs to be a team friendly limit. It doesn't need to be this $11-12 million nonsense unless he's going to be putting up a ton of goals. Then I don't care.
Why would you not want to be in some place for that long?
Stability.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a couple different things. Like, Panarin, the rumor was he wanted to go to a big market. Is New York a bigger market than Columbus? Absolutely. 100%. I mean, you're going to get more recognition in New York. Now, if I were him, I wouldn't have chosen New York because now you're kind of stuck behind like Mika Zibanejad, and then you got Chris Kreider, and you got a bunch of guys like that, and now they're kind of ugh. But I don't know. Yeah, he was in the KHL forever. He's one of the few guys that actually stayed in the KHL to develop, and he came over, I think, when he was 27 or 25, 26, or 27, one of those. Yeah, and he was asking way too much. So, but the Hawks are paying way too much for Tays and Kane, even though Kane's worth it. Tays, not so much anymore, but yeah, I don't know. Am I sad? No, I'm not. It sucked at first, but I'm not sad.
Felt the same way when Ilya Kovalchuk retired, went back to Russia, then came back and played with the Kings. Really? Yeah,
that made no sense. And then he was hanging out with the Caps. Like, I'm interested. So we have Mikhail Grigorenko on the Blue Jackets.
This is where everyone goes to die.
And he was he was drafted by Buffalo. Then he went to Colorado. And then he went to the KHL for 3 years. And he's been terrible. Like, granted, they signed him to a 1-year deal worth like $1.25 million. But, man, it was not good.
He retired 3 times.
Yeah. It's just
now he's back in the KHL playing with Avant-Garde for like tax-free dollars under the table.
Literally.
I mean, to be fair, Russians, it feels like they play forever.
Look at a bunch of oligarchs playing.
Pavel Datsyuk is like 75 and still destroying kids. It's crazy.
True.
And then Jaromir Jagr has been playing since the Civil War, seems like.
True. But okay, guys, we are saying goodbye to Chris Pinto. Thank you for coming. Glad you participated in our activity tonight.
Always. Thanks for having me on, guys. It was super fun to see y'all interact together, Alex and Megan. Both y'all are super great. Ryan, always a pleasure to be with you on camera. When I saw you behind in the backstage, I was like, oh, yeah, it's about to be super fun. Everybody who is watching, make sure you check out the Belly Up Podcast Network. We are what they aren't. We have something for everybody. And I mean, obviously, y'all have seen Megan and Alex. Check out Alex's homeboy, Zach, with his new podcast about the Cleveland Browns.
Yep.
But then always check out at Cannons and Hawks Pod, at Slapshot Sweethearts. Ryan, you have like a myriad of things, though. I mean, like you're talking about Around for the Weekend, No Credentials. You write as well. So Ryan's an excellent writer. Make sure you check him out. And then you can always follow me at Aggie Kappa Sig. Fantasy football, any sort of fantasy stuff, come to me. But if you want like the day-to-day stuff, you got to check these guys out. So thanks for having me on, guys. It was a pleasure.
Anytime. And also saying goodbye to Ryan for tonight. It's been a long night, y'all.
Yeah, my dad wants me to give him a call. He tried to call me before I came on. But yeah, as Chris mentioned, you can find me. My Twitter, my personal Twitter is at whoisRyanMCC, which is right here.
Yeah.
Right there, at whoisRyanMCC.
Mm-hmm.
And you can check out my podcast, which is No Credentials Required. We didn't drop an episode this week because my co-host forgot to watch the Super Bowl. Even though he watched the championship game, he's like, I didn't watch Super Bowl. Like, all right, fine, why don't do the podcast then? So, No Credentials Required. You can find a podcast. It comes out every Wednesday, maybe Thursday sometimes, depending on the day we record.
Wednesday-ish.
Around for the weekend, most Fridays at 6:30, unless I'm doing church stuff. Then it's on Saturday mornings at 11. And again, you can also find me on Belly Up Sports. I do some writing there. I do some, I'm jack of all trades there. So I'm just having fun, and I'm doing the hockey head thing, which I'm kind of good at. So, so I'm trying my best with that. But in the meantime, you can interact with me on Twitter there at whoisRyanMCC, and you can find my other shows. They'll be linked on the on my profile, so you can follow those shows too. And as for me, that's it.
Thanks, Ryan.
Cool.
We'll
Thanks,
see
Ryan.
you around.
Take care, guys.
See ya.
Bye. Okay, I'm in a shootout right now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Crosby just scored. Okay.
So I'm ahead of you a little bit, so I will not say what happens. So I'm watching it right now.
Guys, I'm stressed. I have my iPad with my coverage up. I didn't, and I was.
Islanders just scored. That sucks.
Did they? What happened is not telling me. Are you lying to me?
No.
To make me feel bad? Yes, you are, you jerk. AWG win! That wasn't funny!
Yes, it was.
Let me tell you, before when I was in my room doing this, I thought someone else was home. Clearly not. I had like my game on, and that's why I kept going in and out. But I missed our goal with 18 seconds left, and I was like, "Oh fuck, we lost." But then when I finally got it to reload, and it was like 3-3 going to OT, I was like, "Where is my game? I'm done. I need this."
What?
Like, I'm prepare if I lose connection.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't even.
Yeah, I don't know about this Jackets game. I'm telling you what.
Yeah, I was gonna say, y'all.
It's the same nonsense that we keep getting scored on. Like they scored again where it went off of one of our guys' skates, and then it's another defensive breakdown. And like if this keeps up, I sit there told. I talked to Zach about it. If the Blue Jackets lose both of the games against the Blackhawks, that the Blue Jackets won't make the playoffs.
Remember
I
when
just
we
think that's
thought
where
this was a ridiculous comment? Like an hour ago? And we were like, not possible. Not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
Jamie called it for 2.
It's not going to happen.
I'm going to be so... I don't even know. I'd just be so disappointed in a lot of games this year. I think Chicago's the one who's like mixing everything up.
Yeah, because they were supposed to be hanging out with the Red Wings and the Senators in the basement, and they're not.
Right.
Which is weird.
Which the Senators, I don't even know. There's like no words to describe what the Senators are this season. It's just a terrible mess.
I mean, yeah, pretty bad.
There's no better way to put it. Jamie, hold on. Where's your Twitter? You can come hang. I have to find the link. Copy. Ready to defend yourself, Alex?
Oh, good Lord. I've missed so much stuff on Twitter.
It's fine. Jamie, check your Twitter DMs. I mean, you got, what, 1 period left?
Yeah, we're in the second intermission. And we'll probably end up losing. I mean, what's new?
Hey, positivity. What have we learned from watching your games on live?
Hey, the last time
pessimistic, you pay for hat.
No, honestly, I'll pay for hat for a win. Last time I was on and I said we would lose and we ended up winning. Now, I was in a shootout. I don't really want to go to a shootout.
Yeah, they're stressful.
Well, besides that, yeah, they are. But with the amount of stuff going on with all of these overtime points, that overtime needs to be like non-existent.
Yeah. What do you think of this new overtime format? Because I feel like we've all just kind of like accepted that it's happening, but we haven't really given much thought to like, should it be different?
I think so. The 3-on-3 I like. I think it should be 10 minutes and not 5. That will eliminate more shootouts. I mean, I'm sure there still will be some here and there, but I don't mind it. If it were up to me, I would eliminate the shootout altogether. And then it would just be 5-minute overtime periods. So you have 5 minutes. If you don't do that, you have an overtime intermission, do it again. And if you don't score, you do it again. And you just keep playing 3-on-3 until somebody scores.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Let's hear what Jamie has to say. What's up?
What's up?
What's going on?
Love the show, Alex. I'm actually a Columbus fan because I'm a Jody Shelley fan. He's actually grew up in Yarmouth, Nova Scotia, about 4 hours from here. So I've watched him in his junior days. Love his analysis every time games are on Fox Ohio, man. So I
love Jody. I loved when he played for Columbus.
Absolutely. He had a golf tournament. He had a golf tournament with John Sebastian Jaguar in 2003, and I became a fan.
What score, Megan?
I mean, the score might be 4-2 now.
Oh, the game isn't even up for me yet. Oh wait, no, it is because I was watching. I was on Twitter.
I was gonna say that was like less than a minute in.
They scored with like 30 seconds in the second period too.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I thought they were gonna do it again. That was so traumatic. I want you guys' opinions about the graphics that are being shown on the ice that aren't actually there. The one in this game is about the Penguins Caps game. Like, that's weird to have on the ice right now.
Are you talking talking about that game specifically, or are you talking about like the advertisements that are on the ice?
No, the advertisements that this year are being like, they're like graphics that are being like pictured on the ice. They're not permanent. Like, watch your game, and when they go towards center, you'll see there's an ad for the Penguins Caps game on Sunday on NBC.
I don't see that. I see NHL Network. No, I know. I only see.
I was saying it's not actually on the ice. They're graphics, like being projected on there.
Yeah, no, I don't mind them because I really don't even notice them. Just like the ones on the boards, I really don't notice them. You know, it's good that they have them.
point when Shannon asked me about like the helmet ads.
Yeah.
I was like, I feel like the ads, like that type of thing, like isn't really a hockey thing. Like it's not really in our nature. She was like, well, look at the boards. And I was like, who's looking at the boards?
Yeah, you don't notice
These
them.
I find more distracting because they're so bright, because they're not under the ice. They're so much brighter that it's a little distracting when they're going towards the center. Like the NBC Peacock, like, I mean, I work for NBC, but I find it ridiculous.
So Rod Peterson had his show on today, and he actually mentioned you guys. He had nothing but great things to say about your guys' show, and I did get a glimpse of the YouTube conversation. Oh, I'm having video problems. Sorry.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he mentioned you guys talked about the advertising and stuff like that, and he mentioned today he said the Dupes. He goes, "Do you know about the Lake Tahoe game?" And Dupes is like, "Yeah, like nobody knows about it. Like it's odd. Are they playing on the lake like Mystery Alaska?" And he said no, they're actually playing beside the lake. So no, it's unbelievable how nobody knows the Lake Tahoe game. And right now we don't even know if it's going to be played. I believe it's is it Boston and Philly that are partaking in that? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's Boston and Philly, and then Vegas and Anaheim.
Colorado.
Yeah, so
that's the one. Don't quote me there.
I did see an NBC game the other day, and as that game was playing, they had on the blue line the next NBC game, and then you will see, like at the behind the net on the glass, there will be a projected advertisement. And you guys are absolutely right. Like the advertising right now is not as big as the NFL. And Rod talked about that today in your guys' conversation. So it's you know, it doesn't really bother me that much. Like you watch the game and you don't really pay attention to the advertising. But I agree with you guys. The advertising right now is not as big as the NFL. And hey, it is what it is, I guess. But
yeah, some of the stuff.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say some of the stuff doesn't make sense. What they complain about, like the ads on the helmets. They're like, oh, I hope that doesn't go, continue in the future. I don't care, because if you're watching the game and paying more attention to the ads on the helmets than the game, then you're not watching the game for what it's for.
Absolutely.
That's my thing, is like you don't really notice it, but it's also like in my head it's just kind of like unnecessary. Like I get it's one more way for these teams to make money right now when they're so in debt after how like last year ended up for them. Well, not in debt, but like they're just so low on money.
Yeah.
But there's like some ways to do it. Like the Penguins, when they're wearing their white helmets, their advertisement is blue. And it's kind of like you notice it. But like I don't mind the ones where it's like black on white or white on black, because you don't really notice it that much. Like it kind of just like blends in with like the normal like CCM or like wherever your helmets are from. But like when it starts to get color, like the TD Bank ones that are green, like those kind of stand out to me, which kind of irritate me a little bit. But I wish they were all just like black or white. Or like if they were on like a colored helmet, like the Hurricanes have like their red and their green helmets or whatever, just make it black or white.
So oh, sorry, Alex, you go ahead.
You're fine.
So are you saying, I'll give you the Leafs helmet, for example. It's a blue helmet or a white helmet, depending if they're home and away. And the Scotiabank emblem is red. So are you saying that emblem logo should be blue to correspond with the jersey? But
no, I just think it's red, like on the white. Really right. Which but you can make, when people like make these logos, like in reality, they have like their colored versions, they have a black and a white version based on like what they're putting it on. So I just think like any company who has their logos on a helmet should be using like their black and white versions. Like if it's a blue helmet, like have it be the white version. If it's a white helmet, have it just be the black logo. Which like I guess if it blends in a little bit more with like the jersey, like you can use the blue because like it fits with like the team branding. But like the Penguins have no blue anywhere. Like why is their PPG logo bright blue? It just stands out, and it's like it's not distracting, but you notice it.
I agree. It just the branding. Scotiabank. I see Scotiabank every day. I drive down the street and it's red. PPG paints has got the teal blue. So I understand what you're saying, but then you don't see it. It doesn't pop as much. Like Scotiabank representatives, like I can't see the logo. Oh, there it is. It's like blended in like an iguana or something in the jungle. You can't see it. So I understand what you're saying, but I think it's more of like it's got to pop so then people actually see it, like the red Scotiabank or PPG, the teal blue that is on Crosby's helmet. Yeah, I understand. Great point.
Like even so, it's only you don't really notice it. It's like even when we're like zoomed in, like they had an image of like Kane before. Like you can only see the United logo on the Blackhawks helmet if they're zoomed in on that player. Like if they're just like kind of from afar, you don't see it anyway.
Well, and that's you get
like,
the teams that the stuff get the teams that the stuff blends in. I mean, like look at the Blue Jackets. We have Ohio Health and Nationwide. The logo on our home helmet is Ohio Health, and that's white on our dark blue helmet. And then the Nationwide one is on our white helmet, and it's blue. It matches our colors. So like if it matches the colors, it's colored, fine. But yeah, the PPG when that came out made no sense to me at all.
Yeah, either have it be within your branding or have it be black or white.
Like I get it from the marketing side of it, from an advertisement. You want people to notice it. Yeah, you want people to notice it, and you want to make money. I understand it from the marketing side, but at the same time, they were doing this allegedly for 1 year. So some of them look ridiculous. For the Penguins, to me, it looks like they just slapped a giant sticker on it and actually didn't put any thought into it.
Yep. Straight up.
I have a question, Meg. Rod also mentioned today that he's calling it the Discovery Card division and whichever. And he was getting a bit of flack for that. He mentioned that today, and then I was thinking to myself, I said, that's the division. That's what it's called. And it goes back to what you mentioned, the advertising. Like people are like, why are you calling it the Mutual Mass division? It's the East division. I had this conversation with Kyle Hall today, and I know I mentioned I'll talk to him Sunday with some Rangers stuff. I was going to ask you, Alex, about Lafreniere, but it just goes back to the advertising. Like it just slack right now. It's not like the NFL.
They're like selling out this season. Like literally the NHL is sold out this season. Like they're over it. They just need money.
Yeah.
But it's also like they had divisions broken up before they had sponsors for them. I think when they announced they were breaking up divisions from day one, that it was going to be the Mass Mutual East division. But like we kind of knew this was happening before we got the sponsors.
Yeah.
So it was like it felt like an afterthought that they were like, oh, we need money, so we're going to attach someone to this. Like we're going to make it the Mass Mutual East division. We're going to make it this whatever. I don't even know what the rest of them are. Because nice goal. Sorry if that spoiled anything. But it's just like I think it was such an afterthought that for me it's still like it's just location based. Like I don't care about the sponsor. Like it's going to be the East teams. That's what I'm going to like think about it. And like maybe if you're like from an area where something's more relevant, like Shannon is from Boston originally, and Mass Mutual is like a thing up there. But like I'm from New Jersey. Like I don't know what Mass Mutual is. Like I couldn't tell you anything about them.
Presidential, or is that what's on the Jersey's helmets right now? Presidential, or sorry,
probably thinking of Prudential.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, sorry, Prudential for the Devils.
I said that incorrectly.
Yeah, no, actually,
I apologize, but yeah.
My mom actually works for Prudential, but that's like the sponsor of their arena. It's like they play in the Prudential Center, which is why the Devils have that on their helmet. Like their added sponsor.
I'm loving Miles Wood this year. I got him in my fantasy, man. What a stud! Like he's been rock solid. That game he scored with, I think it was like a point something seconds left last week. I forget which team it was. He came down, took a shot, and did a rebound. Man, I don't know what your opinion about Miles Wood is and his worth ethic, but he's something to watch, man. So
yeah, I mean, I think he's been playing great. I personally, I'm from New Jersey, but I'm a Penguins fan, so like I don't like pay that much attention to whatever is happening in the Devils or the New York, truly. But I mean, he's doing better than I think I expected, which is good. Which like I'd rather be surprised than let down. So it's not a bad position to be in. But
the one from the Devils that's been surprising me is Ty Smith, our defenseman.
Yeah.
Like I snagged him on my fantasy
such an issue for so many teams.
Mm-hmm.
Mackenzie Blackwood is actually on the potential Team Canada list as maybe like the third or fourth goaltender. So I watch a little bit of
Yeah.
I watch a little bit of the Devils because Nico Hischler plays on that team. He played here in Halifax, and Zadina, who also had a cup of coffee here in Halifax, has scored his first goal with Detroit last night. So I'm watching guys that played junior in Halifax, and it's all over the map. So really, yeah, we talk about the Leafs here on Offside, but it's we like to talk about guys that play junior as well. So Hischler's playing very well in New Jersey, and Zadina has been a guy we've been watching as well. So.
Yeah. So you're a Canada guy. Tell us about the Senators. What's happening?
So
why are they so bad?
Bruce Garrock, I don't know if you guys follow him. He's a Senators insider. We also had Wayne Scanlon on Offside. He's also a Ottawa Senators insider. And just from what Bruce Garrock said this evening, he said, I was watching the game. Senators they're out shooting teams in the last 3 periods. I believe once they get a greasy goal, I don't know if Kachuk scores, they've got the toughness. They've got Haley, they've got Austin Watson. They've got the sandpaper to score a goal, but the Jets had 6 shots and they score first. That just pretty much sums up the Senators right now. They take 19 shots. Garrock does not like Holberg. Holberg and Anisimov. I believe Nisimov played in Columbus.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe Alex could talk about Anisimov. And he also played in Chicago. He did okay. He helped us in the playoffs. 4th line center. So he made the taxi squad today. But Holberg's been, I believe I'm spelling or saying it correctly. He's on waivers and he's been brutal. Like that's how he was described today. Forget the guy's name that's going to be called up. But right now, I follow the Sens quite closely, actually, because in order for me to watch the Pens, I've got to go to Ottawa because Toronto's just too damn expensive to go watch a game. So, I go to a lot of Senators games. I try not to knock them as much as I should, but give him credit, man. Like I had him in 6th place out of 7, and we all had the Jets in 7th. So. Hey, they're a gritty team, but they just got to get a greasy goal, and I believe that when they do that, then they'll start going. Like they did beat the Leafs, and they got 2 wins. I think they're 2-11, I believe. But hey, man, it's tough in Ottawa, and it's tough in Vancouver. I had to talk with a reporter the other day in Vancouver. They're not in good shape either, but it's. But right now,
Alex, how are you feeling
about the game? Fine. Yeah, I'm more excited about Roslovic.
Is it 4-2 yet?
That's 4-4, baby.
I'm
4-4.
I'm away from it. As soon as Meg said, "Hey, come on," I hopped down here in the computer and I'm away from the TV. But
yeah. So
I'm not even watching it now.
This kid, Jack Roslovic, when they said he was coming in, I was really skeptical about it because I'd seen his numbers before and they weren't great. Like last season, he got 29 points. Season before was 24 and 14. And now this kid scored twice tonight. He's on a 6-game point streak. He has 8 points in 7 games. And this kid's nuts. Like he's so overshadowing Patrick Laine right now. It's hilarious.
He's from Ohio. I'm not sure which area in Ohio.
Roslovic, he's from Columbus.
Okay, he wears 96 because he's from the Ohio area. He's played minor hockey.
Yeah. It's so cool.
What a great trade. He won the he's getting the best out of the trade.
Oh, absolutely. He played for the Columbus, the AAA Blue Jackets. It's their U18 travel team, and he wore 96 for them. His parents still live here. He grew up here and was raised here and stuff like that. And after last season, he needed a contract. Well, now I don't necessarily agree going about it like this as a restricted free agent. He basically stayed in Columbus and said, "I'm not coming back until I get traded." Well, then the whole Pierre-Luc Dubois nonsense happened, and I think Winnipeg just saw that as an opportunity to, okay, well, see ya. You go too. I think if anybody would have traded for Laine, he probably would have gone. It just happened to be Columbus. But this kid, since he came in, has been really good. And he has not stopped smiling. Like, this kid is living his dream playing for his hometown team. It's no matter how good or bad they are. It's so cool to see that.
You mentioned earlier in this podcast, I didn't know it was Torch's, like he's on a 1 year thing.
Yeah, this is the
1 year
last
deal.
year.
So is Line just kind of like just waiting it, just kind of doing his thing and knowing that Torch is going anyways, and maybe he can just kind of shrug it off. But like, I don't imagine he wants to sit for another third period.
Well, to be fair, he deserved it. He basically blew off one of the coaches when they were trying to correct something that he did. I would have benched him too. Now, it's frustrating to see that it seems like Torch's go-to thing is if a guy doesn't do something his way, he just puts him in timeout. I don't like that. It's a new age. I'm sorry that we're not still in the mid 90s and early 2000s hockey. It's different players. It's a different breed of guys coming in. But still, nonetheless, he deserved it. Torts, yeah, he's on the last year of his contract. I think Laine knows Jarmo Kekalainen, our GM, really well. And I think he'll sign. I could see a 4 or 5 year deal coming out of him. But I think a lot of that's going to depend on if Torts is back. And as much as people on Twitter and stuff want to defend Torts, I do to an extent. It's just the antics are getting kind of old of, okay, well, you need to play my way. We're not going to change it, even though it's 2021. Like, he's had a great career. He won the Stanley Cup in 2004 with Tampa Bay. He's with New York, had a good run with New York, was in Vancouver for like 15 minutes before he got fired. And then he came here, and I mean, he's been good for Columbus, but it's not enough. It's not. They need something else, and he is not working out. So I don't see Torts being our coach next year. And then I see Laine still going to be with us. Depending on who the coach is, then that'll depend. I think depending on who the coach is going to base what other contracts are going to be at the end of this year, prior to next season, and after next season also.
Yeah. Like, y'all's play this season, like, isn't bad. Like, you're doing pretty well. It's just like there's something missing. Like, there's like, if like, I don't even know what the answer is to it. It's just like, if one thing was like tweaked, you'd be a top competitor right now. Like, you're not saying you're not, but like, I didn't expect you guys to be doing what you're doing. But well, like, I don't.
Torts said it right. I mean, watching the game, and this is from a Columbus perspective, there's no cohesion between the team. It seems like guys are just like throwing stuff together. Yeah, no, it's not. Yeah. You know, like last season and really the past couple seasons, Seth Jones and Zach Werenski have been one of the top defensive pairs in the league. And nobody can argue that. But this year they look so off. Seth Jones looks terrible. Werenski looks terrible. Our best defenseman has been Michael Del Zotto, who they signed on a professional tryout. That's not supposed to happen. You know, our best forwards are kids that are in their third year. Cam Atkinson has been terrible. Nick Foligno has been terrible. Boone Jenner is a little bit better this year, but he's been like, everyone is not, no one's good. I'm hoping this getting Laine is going to help, but I'm hoping Roslovic is going to help, because even though he signed a 2-year deal, I legitimately see him playing for Columbus for the rest of his career.
He's doing what Toffoli's doing right now. He's doing what Toffoli's doing right now in Montreal, what he didn't do with other teams. Like, it's just a new atmosphere. He's in his hometown. He's enjoying life, and you know, when you're enjoying life and playing hockey, you're going to have a successful season. So
Toffoli, something clicked with him up in Montreal, especially against Vancouver.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Vancouver shows up and he just tears them apart. I don't know. Maybe there's a thing with him and Josh Anderson. I haven't paid enough attention to the Canadiens to see the lines or anything like that. No. I don't know if he and Josh are on the line. I don't know if it's him and Tatar or Kotkaniemi or Suzuki or anything like that. But I mean, they've got a good group of guys up there. They really do. Montreal, I'd be afraid of them. Them and Toronto are going to be number 1 and 2 at the end of the year. I mean, there's In my opinion, there's no questions
No
about that.
Well, the problem with Toronto, they got to play 3 periods. They only played the third period against Montreal, and then it was like, you got to play 60 minutes. And if I'm able to, Meg, I wanted to ask Alex, sum up. I'm a Leafs fan, and we talk about the Leafs here. Just sum up in a couple minutes the Columbus Blue Jackets Toronto Maple Leafs series last year in the playoffs. Kind of sum that up a little.
That was a good series. That's probably my second favorite playoff series I've ever seen from Columbus's standpoint, other than obviously I loved our sweep of Tampa in 2019. And then I liked Toronto, and then I loved our first round series against Tampa this past year. Even though we lost, it was still really cool. But the Toronto series, I liked it a lot. One, I think it was awesome bouncing Toronto in their house in the qualifying round, even though Toronto said they were going to walk all over Columbus, their doormat, blah, blah, blah. It made it even better that Edmonton got bounced in their own house too in the qualifying round, which was a little icing on the cake, but
yeah,
it was a good series. Don't get me wrong. I liked it quite a bit. I see that face, Megan. Knock it off. They just scored.
Yeah, the
teams.
The Blackhawks.
I'm like waiting for you. Like, I don't know where you are in the feed, so I don't want to like spoil things, and I'm not gonna like make shit up about someone else scoring.
Yeah. Yeah. Who would do that?
But no, I mean, unheard of. Who knows?
But I like the series a lot.
Good this period. You could. I mean, I can see a world where you score again. There's time. There's a lot of time.
Odd man rushes. It's like we give up an odd man rush. It's almost like 95% chance they're going to score. It's insane because Torts wants to try new things, and then we're giving up short or odd man rush goals every single game.
It's almost like a don't fix what's not broken, but then they break it by trying to fix it.
Yeah, I don't get it.
How can Torts sit there at a press conference and say, "I didn't bench the player. Stop talking about it. Let's move on." And then people are afraid to talk about it because they're afraid Torts is going to barge through the building and just cut them a new one. Or like, man,
I mean, if he wants to, that's his fine. Granted, so the game against the Blackhawks in 2019 where we lost Corpy to an injury, there was the whole clock issue, and we would have ended up scoring to win the game at the end of the game, but they didn't change the clock to move it back like 5 seconds and all this. That he had every right to be mad at that point. But I love Torts. I'm glad he came to Columbus. My eyes, his time is up. After this year, his time is up. The only way he stays somehow is if we win the Stanley Cup, and that's not going to happen. Yeah. But
I feel like there's a lot of teams right now that are like very telling, where like there were already issues, and like this season and the way the season's going is really just kind of like emphasizing the cracks in the system, and is really going to require some change. Like, but
yeah,
it's also so weird because it's a short season. Maybe they're like, oh, we'll give them another season. Like, who really knows what's going to happen? It's like, we have no idea what's going through the back end of like these teams right now, just because there's so much volatility to this season between just like COVID in general and just like the structure of it all. It's going to be hard to see like what changes are going to be made in the off season. I think it's going to be a really interesting, some really interesting trades happening this year.
Yeah.
So where you guys are in the States, do you guys see, say, for instance, the Canadian team gets to the final. So say, for example, it's Toronto versus Tampa Bay in the Stanley Cup final, or they're about to play each other for the Stanley Cup. And it comes down to, okay, well, none of the U.S. teams can go over the border. So can you see a Scotiabank Cup, all Canadian teams go for a trophy and just keep the U.S. teams in the States and basically just play for like a U.S. Cup or something? Like, are you guys optimistic?
I think they're going to move the Canadian teams that qualify into the States in a bubble.
Or
like they're gonna have they wouldn't have done this structure of like leaving them in Canada if there wasn't some type of plan to bring them here when the playoffs start. Like, I think just once playoffs start, they're going to be here. Like, they're going to be set up somewhere that like in a city that didn't make it, or some area that has 2, like New York or something. Like they have, like I think playoffs is going to be bubble format.
Well, it won't go to Toronto or Edmonton like how it was last year.
I think it's harder to bring. No, but I also think it's harder to bring 3 divisions to Canada than it is to bring 1 Canadian division to the States for a little bit. And I also think, like, this is maybe just me being a little bold of a statement. I think that the Canadian teams aren't going to last very long in the playoffs this season.
No,
I think the caliber of what they're facing in Canada is not going to prepare them when they have to come play against an East team or a West team, like Central, whatever.
Perfect
but like,
answer.
I just don't think they're gonna. I think they've just been playing at a lower level because they don't have to play up to the standards of what certain teams require of them in normal seasons.
And you look at the top 6 scorers in the NHL; they're all on Canadian teams. The Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah, because they're playing such poor competitors. That's why, like, when you're playing the Senators, you're obviously gonna win.
We play the Senators 3 times next week. If we don't get 6 points out of the Ottawa Senators, something's wrong there. But yeah, so you're absolutely right. I love that point where it's like when it comes time to say Toronto, Montreal plays a U.S. team and they got to play at Dallas, Tampa Bay. Right, it's at the beginning. It was Tampa Bay, Colorado for the 2 to play for the Stanley Cup. So you're right. Toronto and Montreal, Calgary, the top 4, maybe Edmonton. Can they battle against Tampa, who are perennial favorites to win the Stanley Cup? So you're absolutely right.
It's like even when you're seeing predictions right now, it's so rare to see someone predicting a Canadian team in there right now. It's just so different of play right now, and I really think that it's either going to be the Avalanche or the Golden Knights or an East team. I just think like the level of play is so different this year. It's going to be either someone from the East or the top to come out of the West.
I don't think Canada will do it.
Toronto's been choking. I've been watching Toronto for 20 years. They've been choking the big one for a while, man. So I'm optimistic, but hey, we've been disappointed the last 15 years. So hey, I absolutely like your thought there with Toronto. Are they going to be able to compete against the U.S. team? No. You got to be practical, right? I know if you're a Leafs fan, you got to stay optimistic, but you got to be reasonable here, right? So
this is a hot take, Jeff. Canadian team has a 100% chance of making it to the Final Four, maybe.
Maybe. I want to ask you a question.
But I don't think Final 2. Go for it.
Sorry, Alex. Marc-Andre Fleury, what's his situation in Vegas? He played here in the Maritimes, so I haven't really been watching him as much as I want to because he's out in Vegas. But has he been playing a little bit more than last year? And did that contract signing for Leonard, did that kind of like perk Marc-Andre Fleury's ears up and say like, well, what's going on? Is he playing better now because of the signing and saying, no, I belong here? Because I truly believe he belongs in Vegas more than Robin Leonard does.
Yeah, no, I definitely think he kind of deserves that starting spot. I think we know the reality of it is that they're not going to give him that number 1 spot, but they have been leaning more into a 2-goal system because Lenoir is not pulling out the wins that they need him to right now. It's just not happening, which Fleury's been pulling through. His win percentage and when you look at all the stats and stuff, he's higher than Lenoir in most metrics, like if not all of them from last time I looked. So, I mean, I think he's doing great in Vegas. I was definitely really mad about it when he left Pittsburgh because, like, he was my guy in Pittsburgh. Like, I have his Vegas jersey on my wall. Like, he's my guy. Like, he always has been. If he goes somewhere else, I'll get the jersey again. But it's one of those things that, like, I think he's proving himself the way he has to, but they're still not going to treat him what he necessarily deserves. But I mean, hey, if the two goalie system works and they finally realize like we're just going to split it evenly based on who we're playing against, that's fine with me.
Does he go back to Pittsburgh? Like DeSmith and Jari right now can't stop a puck. Can't prove themselves. They're not.
Yeah, Jari sucks. No, he'll never go back to Pittsburgh. I don't see that at all. Jari sucks. DeSmith is better than Jari for sure. In my head right now, he's definitely proven himself a little bit better. But I don't know, Alex. I gotta ask, what is going through your head right now? You got 5-5.
No idea.
Wow, 5-5.
Oh.
So I will say, so Jeff, you said earlier in the comments, Laine's moving on after the season. No, he's not.
No, hold on, Alex. Watch the game.
Wasn't there Sorry, Alex. Wasn't there a podcast connected to Belly Up that I just saw it last week? And the two guys on there, great content, by the way. What just happened?
Sorry.
Columbus scored with like a minute and change left because they had tied it up to 5-5, and then pretty quick scored again. So it's 6-5 right now. So,
Jeff, yes, there's a rumor, but first off, if you're going off of like NHL trade rumors, they're a bunch of inbred idiots. Laine is a restricted free agent. So yes, his contract is up after this year, but the Blue Jackets still maintain his signing rights and his player rights for another 3 years. So technically, yes, his contract is up, but the only way he can leave is there are two situations. One, they agree on a mutual contract termination, or he gets traded. Or if he felt like he could pull Yarby. Well, he could if he's not protected.
Right.
But they're going to protect him. I mean, you're not going to not protect Patrick Laine. It's
right,
especially on the Blue Jackets. Yeah. So yes, there is an option, Megan. I did forget about that. Oh, well then I'm an idiot. Whatever.
Who do you guys
happening here?
You guys' opinion.
Oh no, I'm not an idiot. You're an idiot.
Who goes?
You put Laine in there. God, what's your deal?
Who goes to Seattle as their goalie? I believe Braden Holtby right now. He did sign a 2-year contract in Vancouver, but I believe Holtby is going to be.
You don't think he's going to be protected in Vancouver?
No, I've talked to a few people in Vancouver over the last couple of days, and they strongly believe it's Holtby's in there to kind of help Demko
like bridge a gap.
It's going to help the workload. Once Demko really gets his feet wet and he can really be a number one. Right now we've got a shortened season, 56 games, a lot of back-to-backs. Holtby's in there to kind of help that load. Look at Jake Allen and Carey Price. Like the teams are loading up on goalies for this type of season, but Holtby has been spoken about going to Seattle. I don't see having two goalies. I don't know the price tag on Holtby, but I don't see two guys. If we go back to a normal season next year, them having two goalies. So Holtby is my front runner for expansion. Fleury did it, right? They let Fleury go to Vegas at expansion time. So
that was such a different circumstance.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
Different. Like having a franchise goalie who was he wasn't playing his best his last 2 seasons.
Okay.
They had an up-and-comer. Matt Murray was proving himself. It made sense to protect Murray at the time. I'm not saying it was the right decision at all. I would have loved for Fleury to stay in Pittsburgh. Like I said, he's my guy. But, I mean, Fleury's game is still so strong. But,
okay.
I thought Alex is stressed right now with that empty net.
Yes. So I agree with you on Holtby. My number one guy, though, I think is Matt Murray, because here's why.
I was going to say the same thing.
He signed a 4-year contract with Ottawa, and if they're going to be that far in the basement, you might as well let him go and try and bring up other goalies or trade for others. They have a ton of picks, so they're going to not. In my opinion, they should not protect him. Here's what they would probably do: not protect him. That sounded surprising.
My doorbell. Hold on.
Amazon.
So,
well, it's
so confused.
It is like 7:30 there. It's like probably Amazon.
Yeah. So I think that one thing I thought about was Matt Murray not get protected, and he gets taken. If he gets taken from Ottawa, that they might trade or I'm sure something could get worked out with Chicago, so they get Malcolm Subban. It's a cheaper contract. They'll get him another year, and they can deal with him. Maybe he could be good with them. I don't know, but he's not good with Chicago.
I like how you're thinking. I like how you're thinking.
I think from the contract standpoint for Seattle, Matt Murray would probably be a good choice because I think Holtby only signed a 2-year contract with him, so he'll only have a year left.
Yeah.
Matt Murray will have 3 more. So, I mean, that's my thoughts on it.
I think and that's interesting because I'll ask Wayne I'll ask somebody on Monday that is a reporter for the Sens, and interesting. Yeah, I like how you said that. I'll ask someone this week just to get an idea, but I strongly believe it's Holtby. Matt Murray likes. I know it's a sticky situation in Ottawa, but he was excited to be in Ottawa. It's a rebuilding team, and they're building around Tkachuk. They're building around Matt Murray, and he liked that situation. He likes that situation. So
yeah,
even though like 2-11, they probably, I don't know what the situation is tonight. If they're going to be 2-12, but it's the ideal situation in Ottawa. They lost Craig Anderson, and right now they need a number 1 goalie because their backup is just kind of shit in the bed right now. So he actually likes it. From what I've been hearing here on the East Coast, he's enjoying it. It's not the ideal situation. It's not Pittsburgh, but he's okay with it. But I love where you went though with Matt Murray. He could be a sleeper pick.
Yeah,
to go to the expansion.
Yeah, I think with that, some of the stuff that plays into that too is, I mean, Matt Murray could like it, but that also doesn't mean that it's good for Ottawa. Maybe they would have liked it or not. Where I'm coming from is next year, there are a ton of free agent goalies. There's a ton. And these are like at the end of the season, Tuukka Rask, Freddie Anderson, Pekka Rinne, Jordan Bennington, Devin Dubnyk.
So take Tuukka.
James Reimer, Philip Grubauer, Peter Mrazek, Bernier, Riddick, Carter Hutton. Like, it's insane. The amount of guys that are going to be free agents for that season. Like, if I were Ottawa, personally, I would not protect Matt Murray and take one of these guys. Because Matt Murray is, what, how old is he? Like 32 or 31 or something?
Is he?
Or
I don't think
never mind. He's 26.
I was gonna say he's young because he was real fresh when we got him in Pittsburgh. He was out fast.
Sorry, Megan. I definitely like your angle, Alex. I just think from what I'm hearing, I just think they're wanting to build around Matt Murray. I believe he won a cup, maybe won 2 cups. So he's got that pedigree. He's got that winning pedigree. So
I totally agree with you.
I'm not saying like why let your only goalie that can actually stop the puck. Why go to expansion? But I like it.
I 100% agree with you. Like I think that's more of a logical thing because I look at it. So I look at contracts and the financial aspects of it a lot more than I should. So that I think of it more from that side. And
I mean, you have to.
Like my reasoning behind 100%. It is, they could take Holtby, but on 1 year left on his contract, and then he could just walk. And then that's like that's like Vegas getting Fleury, and he walks after the first year. So I mean, do I think it? I'm not saying you're wrong, but it's you look at it from if that were the case, if Ottawa even leaves Murray unprotected, you get 3 years out of him, and it beats 1. But they could also just take a chance and try and sign a free agent goalie because theoretically that could happen too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Matt Murray with the more years on his contract compared to Holtby with a year left. That's right. You can put that on the table saying Murray has more on his term than Holtby. So why would Holtby go to Seattle with a year? You're absolutely right there, 100%.
Well, guys, we have finished our games we came here for. Jamie, thank you for stopping by. Always lovely to have a Canadian opinion.
No, thank you for having me on. And my Twitter handle is right down on the bottom there, AnstyJD. And I follow both of you fine people and follow Offside. We've got Leafs Talk once a week. The OI comes on every week. We've had Siren Fleury, for example. And I follow both of you fine people. And thanks for having me on, Meg. I'll love to do it again. So.
Yep. Thank you.
See you.
Alex, we got the wins.
Yes, we did. See what happens.
Not a bad way to end
when
the night.
I say the Blue Jackets are going to lose.
So you just know now. Whenever you say they're going to. Okay, that's fine.
No, but I have to do it.
I'll take it.
I have to do it near you because every single time.
No, it has to be it has to be on live here.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, we'll totally break it down.
That's fine. I think we just jumped Chicago in the standings. Not that really holds any water right now, honestly.
Oh, yeah? I mean, yeah. It would make sense, too, since and plus, that's a nice win that it didn't go to OT.
Yeah,
you guys really pulled that out at the perfect time.
I don't know how those 2 goals came out of nowhere at the end.
It was both of them, too, because getting from 2 to 4, and then 4 to 6, both were so fast.
Yeah. Well, because it was 5 to 4, and then it was 5-5, and then 5-6 immediately. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I'll take it.
Jeff, I don't need this right now. They're not that bad. I'm gonna talk to Shannon. We're gonna talk helmets more in depth another time, and then I'll let you know. But I think this was a successful hockey night for us, at least.
Yes.
Shannon's Bruins didn't play, which is sad because we didn't get to hate on them. But they will be playing tomorrow again against the Rangers, so we'll see what happens there. That'll be an interesting game. I'm assuming the Bruins will take it, but I wouldn't mind seeing an upset.
When does your team play next?
We play on on Sunday.
Don't the Flyers play tomorrow?
That's a good question. No, they're postponed tomorrow because the Devils. They were supposed to play the Devils. So the Flyers will play the Rangers. No, that's postponed too.
It's gonna be a while till you get to see Gritty.
I'm okay with that.
Well, good.
Next time they play, I have to post the tee.
Yeah.
I'll post the T-shirt.
Absolutely, you have to.
Oh, perfect. Well, whoever's still watching, thank you for joining us tonight. This was super fun. Glad Alex got to join me. Alex, where can the world find you?
You can find me on the good old land of the tweets, right here. Well, that big handle. So you can find me at @nuddle_CBJ on Twitter. You can also find our podcast at Cannons and Tomahawks Podcast, and it's at Cannon Hawks Pod on Twitter. If you go into our profile, go into our bio, you can click our link tree. You can find literally everything. I know the girls have their own too. So go follow all their stuff. All our stuff is in our link tree. Our sponsors, Pure Hockey and Spy Optic, are in there as well. Go get some cool merch. Go get some super cool gear. And Megan, where can they find you guys?
Twitter, Sweethearts Pod, Instagram, Slapshot Sweethearts. We have a great time with you guys every night. We love when people come and comment with us. It's been really fun. So thank you everyone for watching tonight. And obviously we'll be back real soon to do it all again.
Adios.
Thanks.